welcome aboard. If you're in Twitch chat, you know that we've been live for quite a few minutes. But if you are on YouTube, you may not realize we had a supplementary episode where we leveled these fools up to level 3. And announced our transition to the 2024 PHP and rule set. So, with that, if you want to know more, please watch our previous video. If you're ready, though, I believe, Mr. Ryan, you are doing our recap for today.
I am indeed. It's cold. I kneel on the ground, holding the body of our fallen comrade. He got old long before his time. There's a ruckus in town. This new place we've visited of Penzance. Everyone else rushes off, bar me, Hatsu, and Naomi. They run into the town, and from what I've heard since from Dash's big mouth, even though he tries to keep it quiet, is that a place was burning down, and they found this strange little man in there, of which Dash is apparently invited back to the school, and has now been granted the parentship, I guess, of this new person.
Not what happened. Sorry.
He seems a bit weird, but then aren't they all? We had our memorial for our fallen friend, and then, unsurprising to me, Remington was there to take us back home. Except one of us didn't come back. I wonder what she's up to. We bury our friend in the grave that he had dug himself, knowing that this day was coming, right in front of his dwelling in the woods. A dwelling that would soon be taken over by myself in honor of our fallen friend. And, as per my deal with him, I shall have the tree moved back a good 10 feet to show good faith in the deal. As it happens, when this finished, it seemed that Alyssa was a little bit heavier in the bag than she would usually be. She didn't seem to carry it with quite the swiftness that she usually would. I made it my duty to find out why. It seems that my dear comrade Kian, Dash, it's Kian as well, let's be honest, had a few stories to possibly tell. Whether I read them or not, let's find out. That's it, Robo.
Oh, that's it. Oh, sorry. That was captivating, man. That was good. I would give you inspiration had I not just given you guys inspiration. Yeah, so all of you, if you haven't already, you can mark inspiration in your sheets for your level up and for all that stuff. Great job. That was amazing, Ryan. Well done. That was a really nice recap. I like it from the Major Anna POV. That's nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that you somehow managed to like kind of diss Dash in there somehow.
Yeah.
That just seems like a part of the recaps now.
Mm-hmm.
The recaps,
the episodes, the aftermath.
The Dash Bash.
The Dash Bash.
It's kind of why we all come here, to be honest. It's just like a couple of hours of like cathartic dash bashing.
All going in the list. Damn it, I don't even have my journal.
Don't even have your journal. You won't remember.
Like, what did I do yesterday? I don't know.
So, a few things happened last week that are all good points to start on. Like, as a DM, I'm kind of torn because I'd love to start with EOS, find out what's going on there. I'd love to start with the Madriana and just like rip into that journal like crazy. I'd love to explore more of this Gusto stuff and see how people are doing, and figure where we're going from here. Personally, I think we should start with a Madriana because that was a pretty good backup. Recap, I should say. A recap. And work brain. I'm like, back it all up. It's
back it up.
That was a good recap, and I think I think after
Hey.
the sadness that was that recap, I'd like to see some good stuff inside Dash's journal and see what she does with it and see how that goes. So I'm going to zoom in with the Madriano. We'll find out what's happening there.
Well, first and foremost, she's gonna enter into the dwelling and kind of get her feel for whatever this place might hold.
Right. So inside the hut is quite a few things to take in, and I think that it might be better, or at least just a little bit better, if I can get John on the mic for this to take us through what a Madriana finds, while I pull in some stuff here for that as well.
So it's a really simple hut, right? His skill in putting this together was perhaps maybe a little lacking. It was a bit rushed. What time he did spend in the hut was to carve pictographs into the walls using ochres gathered from the glade, paints in a series of sepia drawings, very rudimentary in their design, depicting in all of them a boy in various scenes. There are strange creatures, landscapes. He is gesturing in many of them towards a place or towards a thing or a creature. There are scenes that are very surreal. There is perhaps only one recognizable figure in all of them, in a picture of the boy with a man. The man is playing a horn. They are drinking beer. There's a series of notes over the top of their heads. And something that catches probably Adriana's eye very quickly is an image of a hut by a lake in the woods, the bird's nest on top, and a torch in the boy's hand.
Does it look like this lake? This hut?
The bird's nest is on strange stilts above the hut, and it's a bird on top. And in the middle of the hut, there's an eye. The boy is holding a torch, looking as if he's going to burn the whole thing down.
So this is the witch.
Maybe. Or it's a bird nest where it shouldn't be. I don't know, take your pick.
No, it's definitely the witch.
Get out of my house!
He lives.
But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of these weird drawings. It's unclear what their purpose is. Perhaps it is recording dreams, or trying to remind him of something. There are a good number of them, and they are made with careful focus. And left inside this hut very likely without the intention of anyone seeing them.
She'll take the time to go around and look at them all, trying to work out, with as little information as they give, whether there's any points of interest, maybe landscape wise, whether it might be something she saw in a book from a place somewhere here, or even the creatures, whether it's reminiscent of creatures she'd read about. Once she's done that, she'll also take a very brief, probably terribly drawn, like very quick sketch in the back of her new journal that she's received from Remington, highlighting the particular points of the things in these pictures, so that if something came up in the future, she'd have a reference as to this might be a connection. Especially something like that, a twin mountain, something that would be quite obvious, possibly, if they were to come across it.
It's a very serene and beautiful moment, because it's weird. Life sometimes gives you more insight to somebody after they're gone than it ever does when they're with you. And Amadriana gets that in full effect here. You're learning more about Westland through these pictograms and through this moment, through this experience, and the things that mattered to him. Even if she doesn't fully understand what she's looking at, she gets to have that experience. And in a weird sense, it's just for her. So partially this is something that he created for himself, but a weird side effect that maybe he didn't anticipate is that this is somehow also something that helps you, right? And so as you take notes of this and you do your drawings and stuff like that, it almost carries a different kind of effect or impact for her, because it's something that comes from a different place and a side of Westland that you had not previously seen. What I will say, and this might be a bit out of pocket for podcast listeners, sorry about that, but during this there were pictures showing of the things that John was describing, and these were all things that John put together for today especially. So thank you so much, John, for that, because that was a really beautiful journey. They are so beautiful. The different artworks are all amazing.
We're gonna have to post those somewhere.
We'll
for
have to put them
our
on the
podcast
website
listeners.
or something, I think. Yeah, we'll figure something
Beautiful.
They're
They're
fantastic.
amazing,
I kind
John.
of want
Thank
them
you
as
so much.
wallpapers for my
They're
phone.
awesome, yeah. So thank
They're
you so
so
much
cool.
for that, John. That really is awesome. And Brian, that was actually made especially for you on the premise that if Amadriana goes into the hut, this is what she finds. And John put a lot of work into that. So thank you so much, John. Really, really.
Thank you.
Nobody's in chat for John.
And they were awesome.
They were really awesome.
I said in chat, actually, it reminded me of the game, Limbo.
Oh yeah, they did actually look very Limbo-esque. That's right. Yeah.
It is inspired by Limbo. Yeah, 100%.
And I loved that game, by the way.
I did
Yeah,
too.
me too. Yeah.
It's dark. Dark game.
Dark is good.
Hmm.
So,
Did someone call me?
Mhm.
I kind of heard my name tickling in the back of my head.
It's really ominous with that music playing, man. With that in mind, Amadriana, what else would you like to do?
So, although she's staying in this house, she would never actually go into his, or like she wouldn't go and sleep like in his room or anything like that. Like she doesn't really sleep anyway. So instead, she's just made a purpose-made space on the kind of front room floor, shall we say, kind of thing. She in herself, she's not particularly feeling great right now. She's probably still kind of chilled to her bones from what she did before.
Yeah.
Very tired. Probably kind of not broken, but you know what I mean, that kind of just deflated, kind of broken. And she's kind of, you know, obviously takes off her bag and stuff, puts that down. She's drawn the sketches in her journal. I wonder what his journal has. Maybe this will cheer me up. See his musings. And she'll take it out. There'll be a brief, and I mean very brief second of, this is kind of invasion of privacy.
Sorry, GDPR didn't exist back then. You're good.
Yeah. And then she's kind of like, but he'll never know. I could probably slip it back into his room and he'd never find out.
Yeah.
I could probably slip it into his hand and he wouldn't notice.
Are we going through an adventure?
She opens to the first page.
Oh, the first page. As you do, Madriana's slightly taken aback. Kid's smile is ear to ear, man. He knows what's coming.
Is it a naked pic?
No, it's just some bird.
Is it some
It's
naked
literally
bird?
No, it's literally a bird. You open the first page and there's a very beautiful sketch of a bird on the actual page.
I recognize it as a parrot.
Probably, although they are probably, yeah, I suppose. Well, I'm not sure actually. I don't know where you would have encountered a parrot, because there would have been more Arboreus and a little bit Desolatus. So usually from sailors. I would say from sailors. So yeah, okay, yeah, you would get a lot of sailors through there. So
tattoos and stuff.
yeah, and like
Tattoos,
probably
books.
yeah. So like, but the second page, as you flip over, would have very much so a similar take on that. So, Ryan, people went through a lot of work for you this week, because at the same time as, literally, I'm not even joking, the same time as John was messaging me, unprovoked by me, by the way, at the same time that John was messaging me, Keen was also messaging me saying, if Madriana reads the journal, this is what it is. And another page, John was like, if Madriana goes into the house, this is what it is. I was like, what the hell is happening? As you continue to flow through the pages, you find different takes on different birds, slowly sprawled out on the pages themselves. Different probably than what Madriana would have expected.
Is there any secrets into this? Like names written into wings, writing that makes up what looks like the picture?
I hear you.
Like, is this coding?
What I'll do is I'll continue through this, and then we'll circle back and we'll see what we can see. Because I think some questions may get answered as you go through this. And
Parrot,
see
finch, heron, crow.
Yeah. And then pages just suddenly sprawled out with various birds, various takes on birds, different angles. So he may have spent longer in certain places exploring the variety of birds, but something that does catch your eye and almost makes you drop the journal for a moment would be a large pair of wings, possibly symbolic. And Madriana hangs on that for a little while.
She feels a little bit uncomfortable by that.
Yeah, it's like finding your own, like in a position you don't want to be caught in, and you see a picture of it in the journal, you're like, wait a minute.
It's like he's been thinking way too much about me.
And then, of course, we have something a little bit different. As a broken crown.
It means nothing. That one.
It means nothing. The broken crown definitely means nothing. And then on
He
the final
one
page...
to Robin.
all I can say is that, does this make sense, Kian?
Fuck the king. And then on the final page, you see a picture of a familiar bird. Get it?
Take your damn inspiration.
Yes. There you go. So that's what you find within his ornithological journal or whatever. Like...
Ornithological?
Oh my god.
Oh. So yeah, even within the actual page, is there any secret pockets? Is there any like double layered pages where there's something in between? Is there anything within the pictures that seems coding? Can I work anything out?
You would have to probably use some crazy roll, so I'm not sure. I don't even know what that would be. It might actually be something you just kind of have to assume, because what you saw is what you saw directly. So I'm not even sure if there's realistically a role for it. I think you would have to probably assume, but you can go back and explore that, because there is a button in there that opens the journal with the pages for you. So on the item itself, you click on that and you can spend your time looking through them and doing what you like. But I think that's more something like that. Like because I don't like the closest thing is maybe perception or investigation, possibly investigation, but like even that may not bring anything to light for you, because you, like, well, I mean, I don't know if she knows, right? She's looking for it, but yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, so like if I did that roll,
right,
would Kia be able to answer as to, you know, if there was something secret about that book based on that roll?
I'll give you an investigation check.
If there even is, even if there might not be, but
I'll give you an investigation check, but I'll roll it against Dash. If you do a private roll to myself and yourself of either deception or persuasion for me, and I'll do it against that kind of the same way we do with insight. I would almost argue investigation or insight and give you like kind of an insight check into more his mind than his current thoughts might be better. And we actually do an insight contest here, but based on what he's drawn. It's a little bit of a strange one, because I think that's kind of a little out of my hands, but I'll leave it between you and Dash based on your roll. Yeah,
I would argue more towards the investigation side, because she doesn't necessarily think like this isn't like the thing with Slate where it's like, what the fuck is he picturing in his head here? This is more, is there something physical with this book that's hidden? All
right, I'll give you your investigation, but yeah, make an investigation check. It's still going against his overall persuasion. Okay.
So that would be a 16.
Kian, do you see your own roll? Yeah. Because that was hidden, of course. Yeah. So 16 versus your roll, Kian. Obviously, I'm here and I'm listening, but you can respond however you feel appropriate for this.
So far as Madriana can make out, there's no hidden pockets. There's no invisible ink. There's no words in the feathers of the birds or anything. So far as you can make out, the birds are birds. The drawings are what they appear to be. The only one, I suppose, that stands out, the only two would stand out, would be the wings and the broken crown. The broken crown in particular seems out of place. Relative to what else
more
she's seen
as well, like
and
those
much more recent.
Those were in order, and obviously you can see I'll be on the last page, so you can consider how recent things are for him. The order and the sequence might be important. Yeah.
And does the crown, is the crown recognizable? Like, is it a crown that she recognizes from a king of the land, from a queen of the land?
Make a history check, because that's a good question.
Okay, so that one's actually a dirty 20.
There is a crown that would be akin to that. It would probably belong to, like a king, basically. Someone from Palperoth who's considered to be a king of more state than anything else. But he's the final like pillar on what Palperoth would be built on. It's not something that you would follow or that you would respect coming from Birdwar. But the colonized lands, as we'll call them, rather than the Oz themselves, they would respect the king and follow the king. And like King Ramses would be usually wearing a crown similar to that, not necessarily the same.
Okay.
That might be the closest guess you can make based on a history check. Is that fair, Kian? Yeah.
Yep. Spot
on. Side note, I know you said Verdoir, but it honestly sounded like you said Birdoir.
I heard that as well. I was like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, like, Birdoir. Nice. Which is close to boudoir. Oh. Yeah, you go ahead. Is there anything else you're looking for within the confines of this journal?
Is it like leather bound? Is it hardback? Is it what? Okay.
The hell is that? Metal?
That's Dash's journal.
Is it metal though? What is it made
it's
of?
kind of
Like plastic?
No, it's like
Leather.
metallic leather type. Well, this isn't actual leather, but it's made to look like leather. So it's leather bound with a
So
couple
it's
of
leather, okay.
gems inlaid in it, and yep, the front of it does actually have a bird as well.
Nice.
Kind of a geometric bird, more
Apologies
so
for
than
the
an actual bird.
incredibly visual episode podcast listeners, but that is a journal that Kian actually physically has.
Physically made.
Made it himself in it.
Yeah. Do you know my mother used to make books?
Yes, he does.
Not those kind of books, Augusto.
Not going into that now, okay.
Oh no, let's not revisit that. No, moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
She's the originator of the Arcana Sutra. Um,
Damn it.
Goddamn. All right. With that, Adriana, is there anything else that you would like to do?
he would like to pass out.
Okay. She falls asleep with the bird book on her face.
No.
She falls
Nothing
asleep.
he's touched is going to get that close to her.
She just falls asleep adjacent to the bird book. It's been a taxing day. For a lot of you. But for one of you, the day is not yet near its close. So for some of you, you came home, you said goodbye to Westland, you put his body away. You spent time saying goodbye to a friend, and then some of you went beyond that and invaded the private space of another friend. But one of you is still deep within the wilderness of Penzance. Not the wilderness, but like the snowy embrace of Penzance, I guess. Eos, what are you doing, my friend?
So Eos is still in the temple, actually.
Okay. So you're in the place where we had the wake for Westland, right?
This is right.
Temple to Minerva within Penzance. Okay. And you're still in your human form, or?
Well, hopefully by this time it would have dropped.
Okay. So you've returned back to your more purple hue.
Yeah, her natural look.
Natural purple look. Yeah, I got it. No worries. What are you doing then?
So it's been some time, a couple of hours since the gang left, since Eos asked Lissa to take care of Ducky. All that's been done. She's just been sitting on a pew contemplating the last couple of days.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's still technically ish the same day, but you've had quite a few days in Penzance, whereas everyone else has gone home. It's still that same day, but yeah, you're still, yeah, you're not wrong. What is Eos going through? Like, what is this for her? Like, I'm not saying give me all of her most, like innermost thoughts or whatever, but like, what is this experience for her? What is it that she stayed back for and that she seeks?
It's stirring, mostly because, as Eos has known, she's only known her own life to this point and her mother. She's read about the lives of others. Her own her family actual history is documented in a book, and she knows of that. But seeing the complete reverse and seeing how Wes's time was so short, it's unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
That's so alien to her comprehension. To see a man go from someone who looked like their mid-20s to 95 in the space of a few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably pretty tough for her, alright, I would imagine. Yep, that's fair.
She felt she had a friend, and now he's been stricken away by nothing that she could see.
Now, Eos has had a pretty troublesome past in the sense of like how life has treated her. Is this an inward sensation, or are you sad for him, or is it heavy for her? Do you understand what I mean? That's probably
I do,
confusing.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, works fine. It's pretty sad for her.
Okay.
Because as you said, so far anything good that's happened to her has been literally taken away by force.
Of course. There's an elderly lady whose voice just rings out behind you. Are you all right, child?
In time, I hope to be.
She sits down on the pew next to you. Not giving you space. She's not like brushed up against you or anything, but like she's got like a solid foot between you two. Is there anything at all that we can do for you?
Yos is sitting forward. Her hands are between her lap, pretty much, just kind of holding her hands, gripping them tight together.
Yeah.
And she looks towards the person. I'd like to learn. I find comfort in knowledge.
Well, you've come to the right place. What is it you would like to learn about?
This place, the deity, I believe she's called Minerva.
Yes. Yes, she's the goddess that represents the entire flow and order of the universe. What is it you would like to know more specifically?
What's the woman's name? I think you told me her name last week.
I did. Let me pull that up, sorry. She is... Sorry. There we go. Her name is Elda Wainwright.
Elda, okay. Perfect, thank you. Write that down. Miss Elda, when I look out to the stars at night and I stand in the rivers learning how to fight, there is something always continuing. And that is the passage of the stars, the flow of the water, the gust of the wind, animals, people going about their own ways and their own things. I would like to know how this passage of time works fundamentally.
Right. You're confused about the movement of time in general, or with in relation to what exactly?
My friend, and Yo's gestures towards where Wes was. He's no longer there. In the space that I known him, it's been so short, not even a school year. He's gone from a bright, strong, young lad to a decrepit old man who moans so much. It's impossible.
Of course. Well, Minerva controls order, in a way. The natural balance of the universe, reflecting structured precision with the flow of time, knowledge, the same as a river flows, the same as the air flows. It's all part of the same structure. She ensures the flow of existence remains uninterrupted. Time, I suppose, would be a part of that. Time is forever flowing forward, and I suppose in this case that means the flow is quicker for some than for others.
But is it right for one's weight or balance for the life to be so much heavier than someone else's? Or the speed at which to go down the river to be much quicker than others?
It's not about what's right or wrong. A butterfly lives but days, but its beauty brightens anyone who sees it.
True, the brightest star shines the shortest.
Exactly. Perhaps your friend was just truly a bright star.
He was the brightest. He was the most amazing.
Then perhaps we should approach this from a different perspective. His
Jesus.
river may have flown quickly comparatively to yours or to others, but just think of what that meant for him. A significant portion of time spent with you and with your friends and people who loved him very much. I would take a short time with those that I love than a long time without them.
Yo smiles when she hears that. I have a question.
Yes?
I don't know. I would hope so that this place and Minerva is the right place to look into it. Inside of me, and Yo sticks out in her hood and she releases a scarf. She can see her scars and things. There is something. When I dream, it is an hourglass with golden sands moving. It's a force. It keeps me here. Twice, if not more, I have been on the edge of never returning. Yet, it pushes me back. It closes a jar. The cogs continue. They don't stop. I'm seeking some guidance to find out what I am, rather than who I am.
On a physical level, there are books for such things, but on a spiritual level, Minerva's mastery over divination and prophecy, they are perceived as gifts. They allow her to see the future and influence the past and the present, and it's about restoring balance. And with your dream, it could be more of a premonition or perhaps an omen.
Okay.
Something in which you are seeking. Your balance is not found through whatever it is you're doing now, but you might be on the right path. So perhaps there is something else that you are looking for. We learn who we are in the most tremendously difficult moments of our life. This is a tremendously difficult moment for you. So perhaps this is why you are learning and questioning.
That's a very fair point you make. My will, my soul, what's inside me, my heart tells me she, and she gestures towards the statue of Minerva. She's a teacher more than a mother.
We find that they are usually quite close. Mothers are always teaching.
True. My mother taught me many things. How to be respectful. How to be kind. How to smile and laugh when those are not looking.
Do you take this kindness with you and offer it to those around you?
Every opportunity I can.
The lessons given to us by those who we trust most are good lessons to take with us when we make friends or companions. any relationship is built on not just what you can offer each other, but who you are. There's a reason you're here, and there's a reason that you are dreaming what you are dreaming. She stands up and she moves forward throughout the small chapel that you're in, and she moves behind the central altar that's there. And she takes out a small box and she opens it, and she comes over holding two separate things. This is a scale. It represents finding balance in your life, the order in your life, and this belongs to you. And she hands you the scale. Now, when she's holding it, the scale is balanced, and when you hold it, the scale tips. And this, I believe, is what you saw in your dream. And it's a small sand hourglass. It has this beautiful golden frame on both of them. It's like inlaid with this beautiful golden frame, and the hourglass has sands of time that move within it. When she's holding it, it's almost sort of empty, and she hands it to you, and as she does, she turns it around, representing that it's almost full, and it slowly drips sand through. You need to find your balance. These are guides for those who come and seek them. That is part of what we're looking for. That's part of what we're doing and why we're here.
Io slowly gets up.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Io slowly gets up and she bows as much as she can, like nearly horizontally in the presence of these things. She has small tears coming out. Griselda, this hourglass has been a beacon in my mind for years. This is the last place I would have ever expected to see this. And she's slightly scared of holding the scales for a moment.
You see, when the scales find their balance, that is when you will return and you will bring those back. But until then, these will guide you on your adventure. She may not speak to you directly, but it's the indirect where you can read between the lines. Something big is coming for you. Just be open to it.
Big sigh of relief. Feels like a weight lifts off her. She stands up straight. You hear a small crack in her left shoulder. I have found what I'm looking for once.
Perhaps it's because you came looking for it.
Well, we spend something more than a couple of decades inside the undercroft of someone else's story. Seeking new adventures and new treasures is something alien. And I hope these will help me walk the void.
Perhaps they'll help you find your way out of the void.
Thank you so much.
You go to sort of leave and you turn around and she's gone and you're like, what the fuck? And then you look over to the left and she's actually just cleaning. She was just about moved over to the side. Yeah, no, it's a nice sort of reminder. They're heavy, they're about 5 pounds. They're heavy things, but they feel comfortable. There's something familiar with those. Yeah. I'll put them on your inventory shortly, okay?
Oh, you're good, don't worry. There's one more thing.
One
more thing Eos will do before she leaves for home.
Yeah.
And for that, I request headphones be removed.
Oh dear. I'll take my headphones off.
Don't you dare. All right. So, Eos is going to use Disguise Self before she holds out the Mighty Morphine Power Ranger Stone.
Okay. Sure.
And
Oh, the one
Eos
that
is
takes you
going
home.
to,
Yeah, sorry, of course.
yeah.
I was like, what?
She's going to turn herself into what would look to be a cambion, a devilish fiend-looking creature.
Okay. For D&D people, yeah, Cambion. I can show a picture now. But the Cambion is quite demonic in form and shape. It's usually red skinned and has like a tail and stuff. And you're going for female, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll bring that up now in just a second.
You're good.
I'm just trying to.
She's still working out, the bits and pieces of disguise self. She'll improve as time goes on.
So is this your first time using disguise self?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right. Perfect. And so she takes this form before using what was a Hearthstone basically to bring you back, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And when the transformation is complete, she'll hold out the stone like this, and she'll close her eyes. She goes, please work.
No worries. What I'll do is because of spoilers for the characters, I will show a picture, but I'm gonna do it as they see you, I guess. I don't know how best to go about it, but yeah, perfect. We'll figure it out as we get back. So
yeah,
you're going to use the Hearthstone, and you leave Penzance and head back to the school, is it?
Yeah, to stables if possible, if I can direct it.
Sure. Yeah,
I think that's it. Yeah.
You put your headphones back on.
Yeah. It is a shame what happened to Dash's mother. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Radio. Perfect. I'm just setting everything up. Okay. So you arrive back at the stables, yeah.
Perfect. Is listed there?
Probably not at this hour, but you can see the ducky has been taken care of. It'd be quite late right now because you would have stayed there, talked and gone and done stuff. By the time they've done a burial and stuff too, like there would have been some sort of time involved there.
Okay.
So I would
perfect.
say you're probably there at like midnight, 1 a.m. kind of time.
Excellent. That's perfect. Eos is just going to check in, see if Ducky's there, try not to spook him, and then she's going to stealthily return to the dormitory.
Cool. You head back up to the dorms. You can roll for stealth if you want. It's entirely up to you if you need to.
Mazel. That's not great.
What did you get there? Sorry.
Pretty bad roll. 9.
You got a 9. Thanks. No worries. So yeah, you kind of move your way in. I would say that Majoran and Hatsu are aware that you're coming in because their passive is crazy. Dash, you're sleeping soundly. Majoran is not there. Sorry, excuse me. So just Hatsu. Yeah, sorry.
To be fair, with that roll, even my passive might have picked it up.
Nope. Yeah, no. So Hatsu, you can definitely hear Eos coming in. I don't know if you want to come at her or not, but you hear Eos coming in. It's just normal though. People come and go. Yeah, so that's
Hatsu's
crazy.
doing the
Actually,
thing where you
dorms.
listen to your family coming up the stairs. You're like,
Oh,
I recognize those steps.
Yeah,
I recognize those steps. Yeah.
that's great. She's just going to make a cup of tea and sit by the fire.
Perfect. There aren't too many people within the confines of these dorms anymore, is there?
Crazy.
Ash, Hatsu, Lissa, Boreal. Slate would be there,
Oh,
wouldn't he?
yeah,
Slate would be
Boreal's
there,
there
yeah.
too.
So yeah, Slate is supposed to.
Boreal is in the
Sub room of Hatsu's, right?
Room, so into
and
Hatsu's and
Hatsu
off
is
to the-
in the thingy.
Nice. Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before we take a longish rest?
Yes. Hatsu would move from the treehouse to his normal dorm room, and he would take Ayama with him.
Okay.
And they go to the dorms and pay Boreal a visit.
Okay.
He would like knock slightly. He would enter.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Boreal would be there. He'd probably be tired, but he's like awake. He's like wiping his eye. Hatsu.
So he would sit down. He would like gesture to Ayame to sit down as well, and he would get out his stuff. So last time he made like the emblem of the Fujiwara clan on basically the uniform of Boreal. And he looks at Ayame and he goes, "Would you mind if I would add the Toshitsugu banner on your clothes as well?"
Her eyes water up a little bit and she wells up and she's like, she nods. She's happy with that as like a combination of the two. Yeah.
So he would like also put the Toshitsugu banner on her right arm, so that the right that leads the sword has the Toshitsugu banner on it. And he would, when he finished that, he would also put off the top part of his clothes, and he would put the Fujiwara emblem on his left arm as well.
It's really nice. Yeah.
And he would sit with both of them, and he would say,
Yeah.
"Well, I guess we have a little opportunity. I want you, Ayame, to stay with Boreal for a while. Do you remember when our families exchanged your sister, my sister, and how we do these things to learn more from each other? I feel like we have an opportunity to learn more about the friends that we made here. So I will move over into the tree house. But I'm sure that Remington wants you to stay here, Boreal. And it would be nice if you would stay here too, Ayame. Keep an eye. And I will see you in between, I guess. Would that be alright for you?" And he looks towards Boreal.
But we were just roommates. Okay. She better not touch my stuff.
We can make a separator here if you want to, Boreal.
I love that so much because it's just like Boreal is Jay's character in my head, and for me that's the first thing I think Jay would say. Just don't touch my stuff. Like, so for me that's inspired in my heart. I love that so much.
Well, technically it's my stuff, but alright. My stuff is your stuff, but don't touch my sword.
He nods and he just sits down. He's like, fine.
And with that sorted, he would go like, "I feel like there's a lot of stuff coming, and on the journey that we have ahead, we need all the help we can get. That's what I learned. I'm happy that you follow me on that road, and I'm happy that I can call you family." And he stands up and leaves the room, and he would basically go towards
Just out of curiosity, do you pass Eos? Probably, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
If you're passing Eos, let's see if I can just share this directly to just you for a second. You would have recognized the sound of Eos coming in for sure. But what you see is, let me get this for you here. Just trying to see how I can share this directly to you. I guess I do this. Oh, that shares directly to you. This is probably just going to share to everybody. That shows to everybody. I'm sorry. So you see this sitting on the couch. So you see the figure of a red woman with red hair, red horns, big red wings. Green eyes.
He would pass. He would stop a little. Like a few steps after he passed the couch. And he would say, so you found the courage to drop your disguise, I guess.
It's nice to be back, Alistair.
I gotta do some stuff. I would love to meet you in the treehouse later.
Heck yeah, we gotta catch up on some training.
You see Iami in the doorway just holding her sword like...
As she says training, he would grab one of his shuriken and he would drop it in a way that Eos has never seen. So you can throw vertically, horizontally, but he flips it vertically but backside. So he flips it behind him next to her.
Nice.
And he goes, you can keep that one, train it a little bit. It's a good training when you're by yourself.
I love you had to. You're great.
And he would leave the room towards somebody that would be considered a weaponsmith-ish type of teacher. Because he wants to do something for the new bow that he received in Penzance.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Yeah. I mean, it's quite late, but you can, like, if you're not doing something official, like where you need like a teacher or something, you absolutely can just go and practice and do stuff, of course.
I mean, it would be more like the attempt to do like some sort of pouch to store arrows. It would not look like a regular one. Like, what's the word? I can't find the word. What's the usual word for the thing you put in arrows to store them?
Fletch? Or a quiver where you put them in? Sorry, I thought you meant in the arrow. Sorry.
So it would be a quiver that would hold like 20 arrows, but it would be more like cylindric. It would almost look, you know these things where you can store paper in? Like these rolls you can like technical sketches and stuff, or calligraphy, you just roll the paper and put them in, like so that
like a map case is what I would call it.
Yeah,
but yeah, like
exactly. Exactly. So it looks a little bit like a map case. So the outer part is a little harder. The compartment for the arrows is a little harder, and on the outside, it's he tries to craft it with leather and make it look like it matches to him and towards the art style of the bow that he received from Gregor.
Nice. So it's like nice, it's simplistic, but with a beautiful elegance to it. Like, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, no worries. You spend some time doing that and you have plenty of it, as I would present to the party an opportunity to move things forward once again. As we approach your level up, and we're gonna.
I'd like to do one small thing if I can.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead. Yeah.
After everything that happened and doing the burial, etc., I headed back into the school, and one of the things I would have liked to have done is to, knowing the school from the weeks and months that we've had, try to go to a place that's either, let's say, a courtyard or somewhere where it has trees and things like that, or if we have like a herbology, gardening area, whatever it may be, somewhere that has the seeds of a large tree. I want to go and harvest them from any place that I would see that would be applicable to get seeds for a large tree.
No problem. Yeah, absolutely. It's not hard to do. Yeah.
So having taken the time to do that, I would like to prep them in a little pouch, with water, this, that, and the other, moisten rather. And then I want to go and, under cover of darkness, go back to where Weslin is buried and spend some time to put that in, so that over time, the tree and him will become one. Nice. And there'll be a tree of his own.
Okay. Yeah, you plan
How
to...
quiet are you?
That's a good question.
What was the question? I didn't hear it.
How quiet are you?
How quiet am I where? Oh, out there? I think the thing would be to be doing it by hand rather than with a shovel or anything like that. It's more a reverence of sorts, so it would take probably quite a lot of time. It wouldn't be that it would be... I'm being quiet more so out of the moment than trying to be, undetected. Does that make sense? I'm trying not to disturb the peace of the site rather than disturb the new residents nearby. But it would probably work the same way regardless, because by maintaining that, trying to not keep the peace undisturbed, it would probably work similar. But that's my intention. So I'm not skulking as I walk or anything like that. But it would be slow paces, etc., and then get there, and then by hand, just moving small amounts of soil and preparing an area that would be deep enough, down enough, etc., and then putting it back so it doesn't look a mess or whatever have you. Imagine it would take a reasonable amount of time to do it that way, an hour or something. I don't know.
She'll probably know you're there. She recognizes the gait in your step. She knows it's you particularly over anyone else. But she doesn't do anything. She knows what you had with Weslin, so she leads you to it. But she knows you're there.
And before I close it up, to finish off the seeds, the moisture, and get it all going, I'm going to have one last beer with Weslin. So I'm also going to use that to put it into the soil, into the tree, into the ground.
You kill all of them. You kill every tree with that beer.
Yep. And then when I'm done, just clear it back up and make my way back to my own room, wash off, clean up.
You definitely also see this red demon lady sitting on the couch as you come back in, for sure.
I was going to say, I don't know if this will change anything, but I was going to say, once you'd finished and she knew you were packing up, the door will open and she'll just say, like, do you want a cup of tea or a beer?
Yeah, I think under the circumstances, I think I would take you up on that.
That's nice.
Come in. And yeah, just sit and drink and probably not say too much, to be honest, but have a drink. And
I think, as inevitably happens without meaning to, you end up sharing stories of the person that was gone and talking about, remember the time, or were you there, or did you hear about, or did you see? I would imagine that would be sparked by some of the drawings inside, having come in to find them on the walls, would lead to that conversation of, what's this? Then we're talking about Weslin, then all of a sudden we're into the memories of Weslin and this time, that time, etc., etc.
I will say, it doesn't matter how many beers deep we get, how intoxicated she gets, she'll never mention the journal.
Should mention a drawing there for Slate, since he's in there, so you would recognize this. There's an image of a man holding a book with a skull on it, and a boy standing among the brambles, reaching out towards the man.
I think that's something I would just, having studied it all and in midst of this conversation, that would just something I would see and then just having knowing nod and carry on, and something I would keep inside for now anyway.
There's a moment of like, it's not the Westland's there, but you feel his presence when you're looking around this room, seeing the artwork, feeling him here. This doesn't feel like Madriana's home. This feels like Westland's space. And it's strange because none of you have ever seen Westland's space before, but you couldn't pick something that's more him than this hovel. I don't know what to call it. Like a non-insultingly. I'm trying to find it. Yeah.
Hut.
Hut. Yeah. Hut. Okay.
So a question that probably ties heavily into this. Previously in Penzance, I had Chicken as a snow fox with me. We have come back. Has Chicken remained or gone off or come back? Is Chicken here? Is Chicken outside? Because it's something I'd be hyper aware of, particularly in this moment, having revisited Wesleyan and now being in his home. I'd be hyper aware of, Chicken at this time, as you could imagine.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to add to that a little bit and say you look for Chicken, because he's not far, but, well, they're not far, but it's like, it's just a conscious thing that I was waiting to see if anyone would ask. Chicken is laying out by the pile of dirt and just staying there. Doesn't matter if it rains, doesn't matter if it snows, just right now they're waiting with their friend. Like, the weather has no impact on it, the weight of the time of the day, none of this has any bearing on it. Chicken just stays there for the moment. But still remains an Arctic fox, not an orange one.
And still with the scarf that's made of a bit of clothing from Wesleyan.
Yeah.
Can't believe you just Futurama us.
Seymour! Chicken starts to turn to stone.
Oh,
Don't you dare.
that's worse than Artax.
The flames of Avernus.
On this world, pal.
There's a special place in the Nine House for you.
Next to Tiamat. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to stay there for the. You're not going to stay there for this whole campaign, just for a day or two. Like they stay there and they just.
I was thinking like that Japanese dog. And,
Yeah.
So you guys are going to kill me, man.
Keep reaching for that mute button. Don't give the sadness.
Yeah.
But nothing is coming. Yeah, swapping stories, drinking, passing out.
Same. I think if you don't get the feeling of outstaying your welcome, sitting comfortable, warm, the fire lit, having good conversations, getting tired from all the emotion of what's happened, but also from the alcohol, from just general tiredness, it's getting late, all of the above. And I think, noticing Adriana nodding off, I think it'd be easy for me to do the same without having to think about it.
I will say that you do go back to your dorm, like when you're ready, when that time comes, and then you do, because I did mention you see the red figures sitting on the couch. It probably wouldn't be too long after Hapsu slipped out at that point.
Yeah. Well, I'd say then after Adriana nods off, I would try and do the same. And then after, half an hour, if you wake up uncomfortable in someone else's chair rather than in your own bed or the equivalent, and it's just down the road, you make the trek. So probably is a short time later. Upon entering the dorm, I mean, is it obvious to me that that's Eos?
I would say probably not. Like, I don't think she has any features that are EOC. So like I would say probably not. If I remember Disguise Self well, I don't think there's any discernible way to just know through an Arcana check if I remember correctly. So
You're right.
When I walk in, what would Eos be doing, or in this case, the Red Woman be doing in
If it's peppermint tea, I swear to God.
No, man, it's black coffee.
Oh my God, that's so.
Yeah.
Then you have no idea who this is. There's no tell.
That's
Just
where I was
looking at the
going
fire.
with this.
That's haunting.
You know, Dash is definitely going to be interested now, right?
Don't know how I get this reputation.
He's
I mean,
into horny women.
I'm a
demon woman?
genteel
Why?
bird watching man. You know, I don't know
Bird
where I get
watching,
this
yeah.
He's got a thing
Birds.
for wings, so be careful.
Some of those birds have funky names, man. We know what you're really up to. Those codes don't scare us. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I would say, like, Slate, how are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you come into the equivalent of your living room and there's someone sitting there, the immediate reaction is to be curious, probably wonder who they are. But I think then you go down the thing of you're like, does anyone else someone making tea? You know, who's here? Who let them in? That kind of a thing. So I think I'd kind of
It's just, at this point, it's probably just one of Dash's women. Don't worry about
yeah. I think I'd stroll past and kind of be like, nod, be like, hello, just to get something back from them. You know, start an interaction. So I would, like I say hello just to be courteous, but be heading towards other people's rooms on the way past kind of the couch in the common area.
it. Sure. I would say at this point, Dash's is probably the closest because it's kind of central up the stairs a little bit. And I definitely want to see what happens if Dash gets involved in this. So I'm going to point Slate in the way of Dash's room.
So I just go up and open his door. I don't even knock. I just open the door.
And the door would be locked.
Then I go up and go to open the door and it doesn't open. Then I
Dash, you suddenly get pulled out of your sleep as you hear someone like fiddling with the like latch or whatever the handle.
Lissa, it's late. Wait. Lissa, you can't pick a lock?
Who's in our common room? Why is your door locked? This is weird.
Slate? Hold on.
You don't normally show up till way later in the dream.
Yeah. The fuck? Yeah. So, yeah, Dash will just get up and hurriedly throw on a shirt. And
I think the time it would take
Open
you
the
to do
door.
that, I would realize that you and they are not connected because clearly you're just waking up, clearly you're fumbling in the dark, clearly you have that just woke up voice, and clearly you've
Yeah.
articulated you don't know what's going on.
Sure.
So I think I would make my way back down, and instead of going through all the rooms and all the doors, I think I would just flat out be, and you are? To
Ew,
yes,
Slate.
not knowing.
Dash, you
Alright,
open
what
your
the fuck
door
do you
and you
want?
just see a perplexed look on Slate's face as he's looking towards this red woman.
Slate, who the fuck is that?
So what I'll do is on hearing Eos say it's Eos, I want to do two things simultaneously. The first thing I want to do is from memory turn into Eos, so the way that
Okay.
I know her. But at the same time, I want to try and listen to the voice, and you know, I presume from the way it was said, I'm not hearing, you know, scared, hurried tones. It's relaxed. It's Eos's voice. Presumably, it sounds the same. It sounds familiar. I've had plenty of conversations and been in close proximity. And I will add, because of my actor feat, after spending 1 minute with somebody, I can mimic them 100%. So I should be able to use that, reverse engineer it to go, I believe that is Eos. But I'd like to suspend that second in my head and try and use that voice and kind of be like a calibration going, that visually makes no sense, but audibly that's okay.
Eyes
But
don't
then
say
I'm
the
also
same thing my
aware
ears
that
do. Yeah.
I'm also aware that I can mimic somebody, so I'm not 100% sold, but my guard is definitely down a bit. And then I'm gonna say, new look.
Trying it out.
I like it. I like it a lot.
You're better at this than I am. I can't change the shoe size. How do you do it?
Who said that I do?
Damn, boy. Okay.
And then I'm going to walk
Keanu's just been
around
rubbing his
Eos.
eyes for like 5 minutes.
I'm going to walk around Eos, look them up and down, and then give a nod, and then change again to now be, this is the new or the real Eos. So it's an Eos mirror right now. And then if Dash comes down, I want to stand side by side and face Dash.
Is anyone in this school who they say they are?
Lissa's door slams open. It's like 2 a.m. What is this?
I raise a cup of coffee just like Eos did to me.
Gesture.
Don't say anything.
Eos got a makeover.
Oh, Dash, not again.
One of the... Wait, what?
Said makeover, not phase over.
She just looks at the 2 women and then looks back at Dash. She's like, whatever. And she goes back in and just closes the door.
Listen, wait.
Yeah, okay. She opens the door a little bit. She looks back towards you.
You want to set an alarm in this door?
Always.
Okay, tomorrow night.
Okay. I know this one. I know your voice. Who the fuck are you? She points towards Slate.
With the same voice, while that is happening, I walk up to Dash and I'm going to say, the girls are talking. It's a girls' night. And just sort of like push him back into his room. Just pull his door closed.
Oh, I like you.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with this. Just let's that happen.
Dash, as you go back to bed and you lay back down in your bed, you take off your shirt, you stretch out, and then you feel something beside you. You put your hand across this. There's a pointed nose. There's a forehead.
Gusto?
No.
You make a lot of noise.
How long have you been here?
What? Oh, long enough.
Can you get your own room?
Well, we're besties, man. We're we're bunk mates. We're in it together. We're gonna be like shooting at the stars. Me and you and me. I'm getting jackets embroidered. It says Gusto and Dash. Dusto. Dash. I'm working on the name.
Okay.
BFF.
Okay, Dusto's kind of cool, but that's not the point. Why are you in my bed?
Yes, do you hear that sound? Is there someone in the room with Dash?
Gusto?
Definitely they're going in. Definitely. I don't know about Eos and Slate, but Lissa opens the door.
Eos follows Eos into the room.
I better get the description of my newly redesigned room up, because I redid that thing a while
Is this
back.
the only thing you're getting up?
If anyone is really good at art or is really good at, I don't know, AI software, whatever, I really want to see a picture of a scared Dash sitting there with a goblin-looking figure beside him and 2 of the same red woman, and Lissa just standing there looking at him. This is a weird scene, man.
It's very weird. Hold on, I have a description
Dash,
of the
you
room
have,
here somewhere, because it is.
Dash, you have quite the palette.
Yeah, don't I? Sorry, I had it here somewhere. It's been a while.
That's really weird though that Gusto's been with Mum and Son.
What can I say?
There's a rumor
like it
flying around
broad.
our Discord that Gusto might be Dash's dad. I, for one, like it.
Definitely not.
That makes this scene even worse.
Oh man, like father, like son.
I had a nice dramatic description of it, but when you walk in, we first met by kind of a woodland scene. So it's walking in like a earthy smell. You can hear the rustling of leaves and the squawks of birds. And the sunlight is just kind of filtering through very, very tall trees. We don't walk too far before you hear the sound of lightly lapping waves. You approach a beach scene. The trees slowly transition into shorter palm trees, and there's like a warm, soft gust of wind.
Gusto of wind. Yeah.
Gust of wind, yeah. By the side of the beach, there's a long table with several chairs set around, like 8 chairs in total set around, and kind of set just off the shoreline is a little hut where the bed and all Dash's clothing, etc., would be. So that's what you have to walk through to get to the hut, to where the bed would be. Why is everyone here?
Why is your room so sandy?
It's tranquil, and I thought it would give me less headaches.
You didn't pick the non-sticky sand?
You could have swept once in a while.
This is the best one.
As Eos, I take a pen that you might use in the library to pick up some of his clothes and go, "Do you even wash these?" And then drop them off the pen.
Yes.
How is the towel so stiff?
I like this cottagecore thing you got going on here, you know? It's nice.
When did you even come in here?
I've been here for like a while. Like, and he hands you your toothbrush back. I borrowed this.
Just throws it out the window.
Oh, man.
This is what time is it?
I don't know.
Clean up.
It's been a long fucking day. I like the breeze coming through. Okay, I just like the feel of the sand under my feet.
And you like to share a company with some interesting companions?
That's
Congratulations.
No. No. Gusto.
Oh, no, nothing was happening. Like, I know you guys are married, so like I'm just like sharing a bed.
No,
since you got your own room.
No, we're not married. We're not married.
You're open for. All right, I get it. I see. You're just playing hard to get. I get it.
Gosh, you better hurry up and marry this girl before someone else does.
What? Why?
On that note, I'll
Hang
be
on.
heading to bed.
Wait,
and she just leaves.
Wait a second.
She just walks
Wait a
out and
second.
goes back to the room, closes the door.
Yes.
Ah, man.
Hang on, I still haven't processed this. Which one of you is Slate? Fuck this. Dash gets up, leaves, walks down to the woods. Go to Wes's
Gusto
old
got a new
place.
room. Congratulations.
Hey.
By this time I say, his time is up and the form drops.
Okay.
Oh, Dash gonna be so confused.
People.
Slate, what do you think? First try. Thoughts?
I clink the coffee cup with yours, and I say, "Welcome. I'm looking to get to getting to know the new you, or the old you, as it may be. But nice to meet you, finally."
It's fantastic. Inspired by yours truly. Now, I got some sleeping to catch up on. And she heads back.
Then I just walk out of the room, still the same Eos behind you.
Gusto, you would have seen Eos change form from red to purple. Slate remaining the same, obviously, as well. But I'm not sure you've ever seen either of them really do that yet, so that would have been a strange sight. But hey, you've got a queen-size bed to yourself.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep that like locked away in that little green noggin of his. Magic folk. And he's gonna go back full starfish on that bed.
Are you wearing pants, Gusto?
No.
No,
Of course not.
just the
I knew
leather
answer.
jacket and nothing else.
One sock on.
Oh,
One
man.
sock on, yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Gusto.
Gonna
so
shoot
much.
right up and
I hate him, but I love him.
He loves you, Dash. He loves you. Best friends forever.
Yeah.
BFS.
So,
BFFs.
what we're going to do in a second is we will go into our break for a moment. I'm going to give my group something to think about. We're going to be skipping ahead here, not just a week or two. We're going to be moving a few weeks ahead. As you guys return to normality and go back to your classes and start to pick things up, we're going to move forward a month. That'll bring us from Crimson Leaf into Misty Vale, well into like the deepness of this. When I come back, I want to know, first of all, what the month has been like for you in your calmness. What has been done, what has happened, what has moved forward with the clock. I'd like to know a little bit from each of you. You don't have to go too much in detail if you don't want to. Of course you can as well, as much or as little as you'd like. And then we'll see where we're at from there and what needs to be done. And as always, if anyone wants to do something specific with quote-unquote downtime, we do have Xanathars, and we do have, I'm not sure if the new PHP covers that or not. Probably not. The new DMG will, probably. But there is rules for downtime and stuff. If anyone wants to do something more specific, we can absolutely put that in there. And I may have a few surprises for you guys along the way. But first we'll take a little break, and what that means is we have a boss fight. We will put the boss fight up and of course get your predictions in on Twitch. You are welcome to join us in chat anytime, of course, during our breaks and stuff, to see if you can, first of all, win some channel points, and second of all, take down a boss with your friends here and with some of our guys, because they do it too. We're gonna take, what time is it now? We'll take 10 minutes. I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take 10. So we're back at about 51. And if you have any questions and stuff, please remember we do have a post show this evening as well. Formulate them, put them in chat, and we'll gather them up for our post show, which will be hosted by none other than Rory tonight.
Ooh.
Nice.
Tell us about your favorite birds.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. Hello, we are back. Man, those breaks do fly, especially when you're on YouTube and it's not even a second long. We rejoin the guys as we discuss what they've been doing for roughly a month. And we pick up with our merry band of adventurers. What order should we do this in? Alphabetically, reverse alphabetically, just hands up, we just flip a die.
I have something to do that's kind of quite early, actually, so if you want to start with that.
Okay, we'll put you last. Yeah, I mean, I can start with Dash, that's fine.
That's okay, because it would be right after leaving the room in a huff. Before everyone so rudely barged in, and he discovered that his room was being, or his bed was being occupied by someone else as well. He would have spent a bit of time looking for his journal. So he wouldn't have slept a whole lot. So hence his kind of annoyance. He's tired and cranky. He's just like, fuck this. So he's going out of the room down to where he knows Madriana would be.
Why is he assuming Madriana has it? Why not Alyssa or?
No, he's not looking for the journal at this point.
See,
he's just like, I'm leaving for peace, and he knows one place where everyone else isn't except for one. So he's just purely going there.
You head down there, Hatsu and like Madriana and half the party are there, and
God damn it. So
But
you
do
would
you not know about the teleporter?
Why does no one tell me things? So not that he's looking for anything, but that's just where he would have gone in the moment for a bit of rest and just found a seat or something. I'm going to assume he wouldn't actually notice his journal there because shit passive, but he would have noticed Madriana asleep, and
So you just walk in then?
he would try to not wake her. You know, just walk in and rest there. You know?
Okay.
So you would probably wake up and
it's
see
fine
him there
because
the next
Slate
morning.
definitely put the journal away. So,
Yeah, no, not even looking for it. Just
I know,
literally looking for a place to
Madriana, you would
sleep.
Yeah, you would definitely wake up at some point when when Dash comes in. It wouldn't be a quiet thing necessarily. Trying to find a nice way to say that about Dash.
Yeah, I know when he comes in, but it doesn't stop the fact that I'm still just relaxing and
Okay.
trying to sleep.
Sorry, Adriana, my quarters became a bit busy for my liking. I was just looking for a quieter place. I know you look like you're asleep, but I know you can hear me.
And for whatever reason, you smell like goblin.
That would be Gusto. He is taking up residence in my bed. And I don't think I need to tell you, I would much rather not have a whole heap of chaotic company right now. I'll be quiet, but if you don't mind, I just need rest. I need time. I haven't got a fucking moment to think about Wesden since all this went down, and I just need quiet.
For someone that wants quiet, you make a lot of noise.
My apologies.
Rest. Talk in the morning.
Thank you.
He wakes up a month later.
Did you
So
bring any of your gear? Did you bring your backpack? Did you bring... Was it just you?
I picked up like my daggers on the way,
Okay.
but other than that,
He kind of stormed out, so it wasn't
me.
like a prepared exit.
That's fair. I say then that when he wakes up, his journal's sitting on the arm of the sofa that I'm guessing he's laying on.
But one of his daggers is gone. Gotcha.
No, they were shit, to be honest.
Hey, my mother made those. She was a blacksmith.
She was a better seamstress than she was a blacksmith.
How dare you, sir?
Challenge you to a duel. Well, that ticks off one thing. I was going to mention that I'd be looking for the journal, so I was waking up, seeing that. Is Adriana there?
She'd be sitting in the corner.
Reading Eos's journal.
Probably, yeah. Probably, I'd say pretty petting Albie.
Yeah. So wake up, notice that, just kind of pick it up and look at Eos, or not Eos, sorry, Adriana. Sorry, Eos' transformation on the brain.
I'm sure that's what he has in the brain yet.
Yeah.
I did my morning patrol round and I found that. I figured you were the only person of this group likely to have a journal or diary.
You've seen it?
Oh, yes.
Any questions?
Flattering. Weird.
Wait, flattering? Oh, you mean these, and you'll open the page to the wings. They're not yours. That was a happy coincidence, actually.
Thank goodness, because they look nothing like mine.
No, they, it's from a dream I had. I was flying over the school shortly after we arrived, before I knew of your wings.
They were made of wax, and he flew very close to the sun.
This, however, is definitely yours, and shows a picture of Albie. That is just a fantastic creature.
Albie goes for the face.
What about the king? What did he do to you?
You know of King Ramses?
I know there is a king. I care not. What of his name?
Tell me, have you noticed a difference between myself and Melissa and probably most other humans you may have encountered?
You don't seem quite as capable.
Oh my god.
Not that. I know you don't believe that.
I will say, if they are indeed your drawings, you are a pretty good artist.
Thank you. They are mine. Myself and Lissa, we have a certain care for folks of a magical persuasion that others in Palperoth definitely would not have. We share a certain I don't know how to say it. Almost like we feel the same in a certain respect, looked down upon, downtrodden, cast aside.
Are you talking of empathy?
That's the one. Empathy.
Why? Who downtrod you? This king, I suppose?
You just open the page of the crown and lay it out. I have a desire to be the greatest thief that ever set foot in Palperoth. Some would measure that by stealing a crown. I would like to steal his kingdom from him. See him and his rich prick friends fall from their pedestal. That was always something of a pipe dream of mine. But coming here and seeing what you, Slate, Eos, Hatsu, and Weslin are or were capable of leads me to believe that there is hope there for people like you, people like me, to turn this corrupt and crooked system on its head.
You want to overthrow the power and return order to its people.
I'll be frank with you, Madriana. I don't give two shits about order. Chaos will reign.
Mm-hmm.
Anarchy will set in, and eventually everything will settle. Yeah, we could get lucky, but anything's better than the status quo.
And tell me, Dash, on your road to becoming king.
Oh, no. There's a reason I want that fucking thing broken. I do not want to be king.
On your road to freedom, who else stands in your way?
That's the fun part. I don't know yet. This wasn't something I'd envisaged until quite recently.
And apart from us, who do you believe can help?
I'm not sure. Not sure if we'll need anyone else. I see the potential in this group. A few rough edges maybe, but you all have power I don't think even you realize. I watch closer than you think. I'm happy to be underestimated relative to the rest of you. This group is going to do amazing things. I can feel it.
I'm not saying it is possible, but should it become a thing that I can help you in this manner, I'll see what I can do. Likewise, though, I also have someone who I believe should be brought down a peg or two. And again, very similar, really, actually. Would free a lot of people.
Name them, I'll add them to the list.
Honestly, I don't think you're quite ready for that name.
Oh, we're not ready for a whole host of things, but we'll get there.
His name is Bloodstone. He rules with terrible power. I like to think people would respond better to freedoms and kinship than terror.
I agree. I knew I liked you. Glad my assessment wasn't incorrect. You surprise me in good ways. I'm quite jealous of those wings, though. I wish I had that kind of freedom.
Dash. How did you feel when you just heard that name?
Something I'd like to keep to myself for the moment.
You're more than welcome to. Just making sure.
Oh yeah, no, I took note of that immediately. I
Trust me
believe
when
I
I
saw
tell
that
you.
earlier.
Trust me when I tell you, there's no freedom in this. They are nothing but a curse.
It's an interesting perspective. Do you know why I have this fascination with the birds? Why I draw them when I see them?
I assumed your mother was a kenku of some kind.
No, it's just they just know where to go. No maps, compasses, just instinct. They don't need to ask permission or stick to borders. They're free as the wind. Can't help but think maybe they've got it figured out. Maybe there's some wisdom in them that we're not quite grasping.
As you so rightly put yourself only a moment ago about the king, I don't have such luxuries. And
Not yet, my friend.
even if I did, and she'll splay him out as she does, and with the right one, having that slight kink in it at the top. Even when I do, there's always someone to stop you.
For now. Anyway, on to business. There's a vault I must look for before Lissa decides to press me on progress again.
I was going to wait till the end of the conversation to ask this, but did he have any reaction to that name?
I don't think
I'm gonna let Kian decide this, but at the very least, I would have said probably you would have needed an insight check at the time of saying it. But
It's only from his reaction more than anything you said, though.
yeah, I think if he wanted to stay stone-faced and you didn't do a contesting insight check at the time, that was probably the time to do it.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
respectfully, at this time, I think I'll leave it up to Kian and how he feels about it. But my call would be probably that it's probably a bit too late now.
Yeah, she might have noticed a slight pause, but it could easily have been passed off as just noting down the name.
Or thinking about, like, did he hear that name before or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
But definitely, and this is a note to all players, if you have a curiosity like that, call it at the time. Make the insight checks, do the checks. That's what they're there for. So you're
No, I
more than
know, but I
eligible to
was
do this stuff, yeah.
trying to finish the conversation as a natural thing first
That's
before
completely fine, yeah.
calling a,
Yeah, I think
to
with D&D the way it is, I think we would have to do it this way, unfortunately. But I respectfully, like, I love that you were doing that, but yeah, this is kind of where it would have to be, yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. What is the story back in the chambers?
Gusto's taken up residence in my room. Eos is now red with wings. Thought you might be interested in that. Slate was also red with wings. Probably not as interested in that.
I'm probably more interested in Slate with wings, if I'll be honest.
I think he was mimicking Eos. I can only assume. I was a bit too...
So he was actually able to mimic the wings as well?
Wings, voice, the whole lot.
Oh, I know he can do voice and manipulation of the body, but the wings, that is interesting. Okay. She's red?
Red.
Are you sure it wasn't like a... You know how Remington made her look human? Well, that's close approximation to.
I don't know that I know how to look for that, to be perfectly honest.
I must admit, I'm actually quite intrigued by this. I think we should leave.
Yes, well, I have a few things to do, but I'll catch up with you later.
Okay. Don't leave the place in a mess.
I will leave it exactly as is. I am on my way now.
Fast forward 1 month and it's a complete mess. What I'll do then is I'm going to start with the Madriana because that seems like a nice starting point for her. We'll talk about your month and then we'll come back and we'll do some wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff, and if there's any places where people want to like kind of loop in and stuff, you can do it on your turns, and then we'll just be moving time month by month, like repeating the same month basically 6 times.
Okay.
Madriana, I'll start with you, and when we get through Gusto then, if there's anything that you want to add or something like that, because I don't want you to miss out like just because you went first, you feel free after Gusto to let me know if there's anything you want to add to some other people as well. If you don't want to interject it there during their moments, there might be comfortable places for you guys to interject on each other anyway, but just in case.
So yeah, very first thing would be going back to the halls to see Eos. I'm assuming now purple skinned again, based off of what you'd said, and you'd probably be able to notice there is a slight bit of disappointment, but also a kind of like...
He walks out of a room and Madriana's like, oh man.
Yeah, like it almost would be. It would just be like, I thought red would have looked so much better on you.
That? Oh, this is just the beginning. What I want to do, Madriana, is represent the stories and tales I learned when I was younger. Visualize them, make them come to life, bring those characters to life.
But what do you actually look like? Not a glamour, but you.
Is there anyone else around us at the moment? At Jim?
No.
Okay. A slow visage changes.
William Shatner? No, sorry, go ahead.
Spock.
How can this be?
No, what you see is Eos, but you see Eos when she was at home. So she had grey clothing, like a maroon red scarf, that kind of coloring. She's not as smiley, not as shopkeepery. She's much more humbled. She looks a little bit tired, The scars, while they're wrapped over, just still a little bit of abundant. They are there effectively. She doesn't have such fancy shoes. She wears simply these leather sewn together sandals. You see a hermit, to be perfectly fair.
And so is she purple? Is
Oh
she
yeah.
red?
No, she's purple. Her skin's purple.
Okay, so
Her hair is lilac.
So, what was the visage they saw last night then? A gamma?
No, that was one of my favorite tales. You ever heard? Long ago, in this book, I'll show it to you sometime. There was a bunch of adventurers who sailed across space. One of the characters, the Crimson Blade, a demon, but to save the galaxy.
That's an interesting trick. And I'm sure that's going to pay dividends in the future.
Yeah, I could do some theater, I think. Yeah.
You could be a one woman show.
Hmm.
Do the wings
Where-
actually work?
No.
Okay. That's a shame. We could
It's
have
a
gone on
shame.
a flight together.
Someday.
I wonder if you might help me a little.
Of
And
course.
this is going to lead into my month, where I essentially, over that month's time, I'm going to ask EOS to help me kind of improve the understanding of my magic and make it stronger and make it more present and actually usable. Some of it will be through conversation, some of it will be through literally asking EOS to attack her and for her to try and do what she needs to do, because you only learn properly by doing, right? So that's essentially what she's going to spend her month doing. The other thing she's going to spend her month doing is, although she still has her flight, she's actually still quite weak with it because she hasn't used them for so long. So she wants to start really strengthening up her wings. So she's going to be doing like maybe flying along the beach while EOS is riding Ducky, like trying to outpace each other kind of thing, you know, sprint starts, all that kind of stuff. She's basically just going to work on herself over the different aspects, basically. And that's my month.
It's nice and easy. You spend a lot of time practicing and doing things, falling into a routine, habits, and trying to perfect, you know, yourself, build up your wing strength, build up your speed, and sort of improve upon an asset that you have that is something useful to you above most others, you know?
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Dash, I'll come to you then.
Yeah, so after that conversation with Amadriana, Dash would go to Lissa and inform her that Amadriana knows of the Archon quite well, it seems. So we would have that conversation. Don't know if you want to RP that out. But,
Oh, yes,
you
I
just,
do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was just speaking to Madriana. Would you believe she wants help taking down Bloodstone?
The Archon?
Yeah, seemingly. Or at least someone in the family. I didn't realize they expanded outside of Pelporoth. So it shouldn't be too surprising, I suppose.
I mean, the Archon's touch in Pelporoth is nothing. They operate from everywhere, don't they? I mean, I've heard legends that they are embedded in each and every society, are they not?
I figured they would have connections, but I didn't think the main characters themselves would get so involved elsewhere. I thought they'd have their lackeys do it.
Surely she means something else. Are you sure she said Bloodstone?
She said Bloodstone. I didn't want to give anything away at the time, but the name was unmistakable.
Yes. It sends a chill down my spine. If she truly means
Okay.
Bloodstone, I mean... She's not from where we're from, right?
No,
Where does she-
definitely not.
How would she know who he is?
I don't know. I didn't fancy engaging that conversation right away. Not
Does
until I'd
she know what he
spoken
looks
to you.
like? I know we don't, but... What does she know of him?
I didn't ask. Not yet.
No, of course you didn't.
It didn't seem the appropriate time. It was...
Did she say why? I mean, to take somebody down is very harsh wording.
It may have been in response to something I said.
Okay, and what did you say?
You've eyed up the Sun King's crown, I'm sure.
Every day of my life.
I'll show her the picture of the broken crown. As have I, but maybe
Darling,
slightly
if
different.
If you break something of that value and you don't just steal it, we have a problem.
Lissa, you're smart enough to know metaphor when you see it.
Smart enough to see a sack of gold when I see it. Fencing it might be an issue, but I'm a game.
Try. I don't want to steal the crown. I want to steal the kingdom.
You want to be a king?
No. I want to take the kingdom from him and watch it crumble. You can have the crown.
Do you watch everything you steal crumble? You're an awful thief.
You and I both know that's a lie.
You're a mediocre thief.
From you, that's a compliment. One day I will outshine you. Maybe not shine, not in our line of work, but...
I'll race you to the crown.
Oh, if you get there first, by all means, darling. You can keep the crown. I have no interest in it.
Oh, I have a great interest in it. To the right buyer?
I very much enjoy watching you try to sell that.
Well, that brings us back to our friend the Archon, doesn't it?
True. What would happen if he was taken down? I mean, that's a system beyond even the king. Arguably more powerful.
Seriously more powerful. I mean, I think if the king were to fall, the power void left there would be incredible. Someone would eventually rise and take the space, and those holes would try to be filled, but it would never be the same. I think the other side of that coin would be the Archon. If he falls, chaos truly would reign. Where the king represents the overworld, the Archon represents the underworld.
Dash would have kind of almost a sadistic, maybe slightly scary smile when she mentions him falling and the chaos in the underworld.
It's a very typically male thing to just not ask any follow-up questions. Should we speak to a Madrona about this?
Eventually, absolutely. But I'm keen to see how we get on with the vault first. Haven't forgotten about it.
Oh, neither have I.
Things
Starting to believe it
obviously
might
got
be a myth,
distracted.
but
We'll do our research anyway. I think we have a good team here. I mentioned to Madriana, a lot of potential to do great things.
Well, you have two people who can change their forms, apparently. You've got us. You have Madriana and Hatsu. That is quite the stealthy bunch. And then I'm not really sure what to make of this Gusto fellow yet. I think if we're going to blow a hole in the vault, he might be quite useful, though.
Huh. True, he probably attributed to all of the gods at once, though.
Attributed to what he wants, as long as I can walk away with what I need.
I'm going to have to tolerate his friendship, haven't I?
It might even benefit you to be his best friend. His very best friend in the whole wide world.
Oh, this hurts my soul.
He could be a valuable asset, and who knows? Perhaps underneath that incredibly gruff demeanor is a true friend to Dash. Perhaps his best friend.
You know, he said he got his jacket made in Balbroth by a female tailor.
You think he slept with your mother?
I don't put that out there. No.
You should ask him. Gusto!
No.
She just walks out of her room and goes looking for him.
He didn't put it out there. He put it in there.
For fuck's sake.
Gusto, darling.
What?
I have a question about your tremendously beautiful jacket.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good look, isn't it?
Yeah, where did you acquire such an incredible thing?
Some nice lady. She moonlights as a tailor, she says.
Ah, was she a woman of many careers? Is that how it works?
Aren't we all in Palperoth, huh?
How is this become canon?
Yes. Well, do you know whereabouts in Palperoth? Was it near the docks?
Let's go with yeah.
Interesting. There's only one tailor I know near there. We must share the same tailor, Gusto. Dash, you know the tailor, don't you?
Yes.
Just hear that coming from Lissa's room with the door open. Like you just hear the voice of Dash.
Yeah.
Gusto's wearing one of Dash's shirts. He's got like Gusto embroidered all over it.
And burn marks from the cigarettes.
Burn marks from the cigarettes.
Oh yes.
He pulls one out of his pocket and offers it to Lissa.
Oh no, thank you, but I must say they suit you. So does the shirt. Dash, you would love his shirt. Come look, darling, come look. I'm sure it was made by the same tailor.
Gusto, it's a bit big for you, Gusto. We might have to get it taken in.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're right. I'm just gonna crop it, like just right across the edge. It's fashionable.
Oh, I like this one.
Cigarette?
Yep.
I have a feeling, Gusto, that you and Dash are going to be the best of friends. Do you know you share so much in common, like your tailor?
Oh, well, that's good. Me and Dash were going in on business together, you know.
You are.
I'm gonna call it like
We are?
Dash and Go is what it's gonna be called. All the like Go will be like then in like Gusto, you know, like so the ust will be in the middle in parentheses. Dash and Go.
Dash and Go.
Just keep it short.
Excellent.
Yeah, Dash and Go.
And what will you
dash it, stash it.
Dash it and stash it. What will you sell here? Not that I'm interested in. Oh, it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but yes, of course, Dash, you're in the drug game. Who knew?
Apparently, I must admit his
Congratulations.
naming conventions are quite clever. I do kind of like them.
You didn't leave me with a lot to work with, but I did make you a uniform. It's got like a secret, drug hat that you gotta wear so that people don't know it's you. Because, I've been watching you. You're not really good at, discretion.
Darling, are you turning Dash into a drug mule?
I mean, that's really kind of a harsh word to be using for.
Another word for mule is an ass, so I would believe that this is probably true.
Gusto, why don't you tell Lissa about your boss in Balbroth?
Oh, yeah. Tall, kind of mean looking. Loves me, though, because,
Yes.
Minerva be praised.
What was his name again?
Archon, Fred.
Oh, that name is being thrown around a lot today.
Oh, is it?
just throws a meaningful look at Lissa. And
Gusto, I think that you might be quite fit for the fashion game. Would you like me to introduce you to a tailor? Perhaps you could get a job there. I mean, what you've done with this shirt is exquisite.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not my best work, but I'm now here in this fancy resort. Thanks, Dash, best friend. I'm going to be here for a bit, so I might as well get my tailoring on. Maybe I'll impress that lady. When I get back to the dock, she'll be like, "Oh, Gusto, I totally want to have you work here for me." And I'll be like, "Yeah, sure, lady. I'll move on in."
Yeah, I think you would be quite suited to move on in. Actually, yes. Dash, how do you feel about this? For your best friend in the whole world.
Best friends.
Look, being a tailor is a wonderful job, but you said you're blessed by the gods. Sure, you have a higher calling.
Oh, well, I mean, it is my higher calling to get people high.
Are you belittling the career of tailors, Dash? Are you saying that they are not respected by the gods?
No, I'm saying they're very respected by the gods.
Oh, there you go, Gusto. They're very respected by the gods.
Damn it.
I think Tempestus sent you to me, and Tempestus sent me to you. I think that it was divine will. Minerva be praised.
Minerva be praised. You hear that, Dash?
Yeah, Minerva be praised. Yeah.
Dash, I don't hear you saying it. Minerva be praised. Dash, you need to say it.
Minerva be praised.
Thank you, Dash.
That's a boy.
See?
Right, now let's put on that hat. I want to see you in the hat.
Yeah.
I've also got some real short shorts so that I'll get all the people's attention on you.
Yes, I would personally love to see you in the hat and the oil and the short shorts.
I'll tell you what. No.
But Dash, you don't want to be rude to your new friend.
Best friend. Business partner.
Yes.
Business buddy. Yeah. No, I have my own style here. I'm going to stick with it. Lissa, do we not have more important business to attend to?
No, not at all. I think you should be very open to some new changes around here. You've been in the same style for so long, and Gusto's trying to be a tailor. And if he's trying to be a tailor as a front, of course, if he's trying to be a tailor, he really needs to sell it. You should promote your friend's extracurricular activities.
I can promote it, but I won't wear it.
Did you hear that? He's going to promote it for you, Gusto.
Without wearing it.
Yeah, we'll put it into the other line of business that we'll be doing. Got to have a way to roll the coins in, keeping it all above board, right?
Of course.
When we wash the clothes, something like that.
Dash is very good at washing clothes.
Yeah, I knew he would.
Wait, are you talking about laundering money?
What? No.
He said clothes, not money. I'm almost sure I heard.
It doesn't work by actually washing it, Actually, the tailor business could be quite useful in that.
Man, Dash, you're very slow. But,
Dash,
we'll work on it.
Yes, you're only now catching up to what we're talking about. Interesting. You have to forgive him, Gusto. He's a little bit slow in every facet of life.
Well, I mean, that's probably why it's taking so long for you guys to, hitch up, right?
Oh, no. He's not really my type. He seems more your type. Oh, shit, no! What have I done? All right, roll insight. Fuck. Please be shit. 10?
It's a 10. Wait. I have inspiration. I'm using it.
No, not on this!
Absolutely not this.
All right, mark off your inspiration. Make your roll.
$14.
It might not entirely be the truth.
Interesting.
Oh.
It's kind of...
You know her well enough to know that there's probably not entirely truth in her words.
Kind of a little bit flushed there, Lissa. Are you okay?
Oh, yes. I was just thinking about all the money you're going to launder, and I got very excited about it.
Interesting. Would you like to help me dig up some information on the vault?
Well, yes. Perhaps you should let your friend Gusto in on the cause. Perhaps he has some amazing insights. He seems quite thrifty.
Vaults. Vaults are my specialty. I know everything about vaults. They're big. They're underground. They got a lock.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta like sing a song when you're like making your way down there. You're like, dun dun dun. You gotta do it quietly, though, Dash. Quiet
So
Right,
far,
you
I'm,
got-
in your head.
I'm pretty convinced he knows a lot about vaults, apart from this information, Dash.
He does seem to know everything there is to know about what a vault is. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, Gusto, come on, help us do some research.
What's the height
man,
difference between Gusto and Dash, actually?
Dash is like
Ugh.
is 6 foot, so
He's exactly half Dash's height.
I need this buddy cop movie, man. I need it.
it'd be like, what was the movie with Schwarzenegger and
Twins.
Danny DeVito.
DeVito? Twins.
twins,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Dash is Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
Gusto DeVito,
yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. Danny
It's true.
DeGusto.
It's true.
Once that Hellfire of a conversation is done, for moving on with the rest of the month is going to be spent very much researching the vault.
Gusto, if we're ever in Palperoth together, I'll take you to that tailor, don't you worry.
Oh, I mean, I've been there before, but we can go together. Like, we'll pick out a nice dress.
It's good to make a formal introduction, though, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, always wanted to be a tailor.
How about we focus on being a vault cracker?
Oh, yeah, let's do that too. Like,
Let's do that too.
let's get it going. Cigarette?
Dash considers it for a moment. Okay. Thank you. He does take a whiskey from that magical drawer on the way out, though.
Gusto, that might be the first time you've
scuttles
seen the
it.
magical plate, right?
Ooh. Gusta stops, watches that happen. You can just see his pupils begin to like.
Oh no. Oh shit.
We gotta get back to that. We gotta get back to that. Let's go.
You have a whole month.
I do.
All right,
Gusto
Dash.
for the entire month just sculling pints.
So yeah, just non-stop creating meth.
Mm.
What is what is Dash doing to try and uncover the vault? What happening?
So it's kind of burned the library at this stage, metaphorically
God,
speaking.
does he
Don't
also?
worry, yes, don't worry. Burned through the library at this point. So I suppose he would try to get the information from people, from teachers, from students, anyone connected to history or arcana. I guess he would be trying to kick up a conversation and
Gee, I wonder where you'll find any of those here.
yeah, there might be a few around. But yeah, that's kind of how we go about it.
Okay, so you're looking for specifically individuals within the school who are teachers or students?
Teachers or students, yes, particularly of history, history or
You can talk to the history teacher if you'd like. Yeah.
yeah, could do, yeah.
Okay.
It's worth pointing out this would have been mentioned to specifically Slate as well, because I know he was eager for the vault at some point. So you can tag along too.
History teacher's name is Odium, and you would know Odium anyway. Some people have talked to him before. I believe it was a Madriana. So in the past, you had asked about raise starts, I think. So I don't know if Dash was present for that necessarily, but it's the same fellow.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, so should I go on?
No, I was just going to say, after his and Gusto's previous conversation, the fact that his name is very close to opium is very alarming.
Wait, does he recognize Gusto? So I've been interrupted by a druid.
You're okay. Oh, hello. Tano. I think.
Oh.
Yeah. So, what would you like to talk to Odium about?
So I would mention that I had kind of heard rumors about a large vault under the school, but hadn't seen as such. So wondering if it's just a myth or if there's actually some truth to it. Just natural curiosity when one can't see a room that's been mentioned.
Yes. When you talk to Odium, he's very intense. His eye flares up purple as he's talking, but other than that, he looks quite human in nature. The more stressed or intense he is, so even when you mention the vault, suddenly there's like, it almost flares out in a flame and then goes back in. He constantly kind of looks like he has a headache. He's rubbing his head a lot in his temple. Yes. The vault. What about it?
I'm just curious if it actually exists. I've heard mention of it from other students, and I'll be honest, I'm curious naturally, so I tried to figure out where it might be, and I figure it's probably just a myth, but thought who better to ask than someone who might know the history of the school.
Yes. I know the history of the school, but the vault itself?
I mean, is it real?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh. Sorry, just the way it was discussed, it made me think it was some sort of urban legend.
You think a vault is outside the realm of possibilities of a building like this, or?
Oh no, well within it, which is why I was a bit confused. It's why people treated it as some sort of mystical, mysterious, do not go there type of place.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Oh. So where is it?
You'll never find it. That's not how this place works.
What do you mean?
It is a particularly powerful vault, used to hold some of the most incredible artifacts ever known to our people, ever. I wouldn't imagine you would find it anywhere. It is a collection of rare artifacts, antiques, parts of history, things that the rest of the world is not ready to see. And as such, you being part of the rest of the world, wouldn't really suit your style.
Well, that is fair enough. I assume it has all sorts of magical protections and enchantments to keep it hidden anyway.
Yes. Is that a question or just a?
Just more of a statement. Sorry for the questions. I can't help myself. I get curious. But that is helpful. Thank you. I assume all you teachers have a hand in keeping it safe.
No, none of us know where it is.
So how do things get put in it?
Oh, you said teachers. Remington is not a teacher.
Fair enough. So just he alone has the power to access and control it?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's not where I expected. That caught me off guard. I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." Yeah, okay. I wasn't really expecting that response.
Yeah, I've seen some of his power firsthand. It is immense. So that absolutely tracks. Well, thank you for setting my mind at ease. I appreciate that very much.
Right. Is there anything else, Mr. Dash?
I don't think so. No.
No worries.
Educated me as is your job, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. My regards to your mother, Master Heidman. Have a good day.
Wait.
Sleeps.
What was he wearing?
Just black clothes, long black clothes, robes.
Yeah, not her style.
The whole campaign is just going to be one side quest of "Are you my daddy?"
Oh dear. I would report back to the group with that information that seemingly only Remington has access to the vault.
Well, that would check out, of course. This is building. I mean, I don't know what else you expected. I'm not sure we needed a discussion with the history teacher to actually learn that information.
Well, until
Now
we
if
actually
they
get
rob it, are
confirmation,
they
it's
not-
only an assumption.
I mean, it helps me because now if I rob the vault, they'll blame you because you were the one asking questions. You have cemented my alibi. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Slate, any thoughts?
Coincidentally, I was going to butt in and ask, could I try something here?
Get on in
so,
here.
I'm going to have powwow with Dash, and upon hearing this information about Remington, I was going to say to him that I had already hatched a plan to try and move things forward, but he's just helped me. My original plan was to approach the security guard who can split and multiply, and to use my forgery crit to produce a letter from the crisis response unit saying that there's reports of the vault being breached, and I have orders to make sure that basically all the magical artifacts are secure, because the CRU would obviously respond if there were a breach and there were all of a sudden those artifacts were out and everywhere. So I've been sent to confirm, and having seen CRU and other people at previous points, he would obviously take on the form of one of their lackeys with the proper uniform, etc. And so I'd like to forge the document, but now, rather than approaching the security guy, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to address it to Remington specifically now that I have that information from Dash. But so I'm going to report to the guy who can split, who would then bring me to Remington, because that's what the CRU, I presume, would do when they arrived on the property. So I will mimic what they would do. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to tell Dash, and then see where that leads us.
I like that plan, Slate. If I may, can you hold that form for a moment with the uniform, etc., and I will try to use my disguise kit to mimic the uniform to look like backup, effectively.
Dash, darling, your face is known by Remington, you understand?
I don't think I'll be speaking directly to Remington. And also, I can do something about this as well. So I will use the disguise kit to change the physical appearance, hair color, just kind of make it look like a different human, basically.
Slate, with respect, he's going to get you locked away.
Never the doubter. I've never let you down, have I?
Right. Well,
I think what he needs is something more authentic. Just so nobody would see through his disguise. So I think you should give him a black eye for realism.
Yes, I like this idea. I would agree with this.
It will take a few hours for a black eye to manifest. If we're going to do this now, then there's no real need.
Oh, I think just the way you do it. I mean, if I give you a black eye, you'll feel it right away.
I mean, especially if you take several attempts, I think it'll show up pretty quickly.
Yes.
I could, alternatively, I can make it look like I have one without needing someone to punch me in the face.
No, it's about realism.
Gusto,
yeah, you don't want someone to see through the disguise.
Give him some burn marks at Scorchwood. I'm sure he would acquire some burn marks, no?
Do you want me to burn my friend?
Your best friend, yes. If you don't want him to get caught and go to Scorchwood forever, I mean, he's your best friend, is he not?
Oh, no, I wouldn't want him to go to Scorchwood, man. That place sucks. Yeah, sure.
To Scorchwood?
Who hasn't?
Where haven't you been? I'm not getting into that. I don't need to be burned. I don't need a black eye. I am fine.
Wait, I got this. Hold up.
No. Do not. Gusto.
Prestidigitation. I'm going to... I'm going to give him polka dots. I mean, just all the bruises all over his body.
Okay, Dash, you have no idea that he's casting prestidigitation, so you are definitely freaked out that bruises are just manifesting on your flesh.
What? Gusto, is that you?
It's magic.
Wow, that is good magic.
Holy shit, you weren't kidding.
Minerva be praised.
Minerva be praised, apparently.
Yeah, now you get it.
Thank you, Gusto.
You're welcome. Wait, hold on. Prestidigitation. Now he smells a little bit like the sewers. They won't even recognize you now.
Dash, did you soil yourself, darling?
No. What is that?
Gusto, you said that was you.
It's Balparoth. So you're from a foreign land, you got beat up, and you're like, oh shit, I got beat up and I'm from the sewers, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I gotta let you into the vault.
That does rather smell like 3rd Street.
My favorite street.
I'll get 2 d20s from you, Gusto, if you don't want.
Yeah, happy to.
But back to a previous episode, Nightmare on 3rd Street.
Right.
Nightmare on 3rd Street.
9 and a 19.
Okay. Just checking. Just keeping an eye on some stuff. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Dash,
magic table.
Dash, you are certainly not on fire, don't worry.
Do you want me to roll on the quality of the forged document?
We're going to be doing that in a second. If they go ahead with it and they do all that, I'm going to get the forger kit, yeah. I was waiting to see if Dash goes ahead with it and asks you to do this and stuff. Dash, do you maybe want to take a shower sometime or something? This is a little bit overwhelming.
It is a bit, but it may help with the
Nausea?
convincing. Nausea works. If people feel sick, they're not going to pay attention.
I'm going to just take 3 steps back. Yeah.
Understandable. Thank you, Gusto.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I, anything for my best friend. Best friends forever.
How long does this last?
I think 6 seconds. How long does the presentation last, actually?
I don't know. For a while.
6 seconds.
No, 1 hour. 1 hour. You have it for an hour. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, we better make this quick then, Slate.
Well, I could do it again. Like, it's not like...
Yes, but we do not want to draw the attention to ourselves with students, effectively.
Well, we got an hour, and he goes invisible.
What the fuck?
Wait, excuse me 1 second. Sorry. Just need to do a thing real quick.
Yes, you do.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Roll. Do the thing. Should just be 1.
Just take the first one.
It's fine.
Okay, fine.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
That concerns me greatly.
So, yeah, you go invisible, you vanish. You still hear him talking, though, and muttering away, and occasionally just a puff of smoke, I suppose. This is like, see? I told you he'd be quite useful. I'm never wrong.
Apparently not. That's both
Why are we
impressive
sending
and-
you two in when he could just go sit there and wait?
Well, we don't know if there's going to be any artifact that's dropped in.
Yeah.
Also, if we're rumbled and he sends us back, Gusto could still hang around and he would probably feel the need to go and check, seeing as people were snooping. And then it may work anyway.
Absolutely. All right, then. Let's do this. Do you want the disguise kit as well as the forgery kit?
So, yeah, we're going to start with the forgery kit, if this is what you're doing. So, as per the rules of forgery, I'll get you to... I think you can just roll in the forgery kit in Foundry. It should actually be ready to go for you. Do you have it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do.
So, yeah, you just go ahead and you roll the forgery kit into chat for me.
11.
Okay. And Dash, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and roll your disguise kit for me.
Hey,
You guys are good at this.
we're very good at this.
You would-
I'm
11 and a
sure-
5. I'm sure that in no way, shape, or form is this your first time doing this, guys. Don't worry.
With the fact that I am also proficient in disguise kit and I have one and I know what he's doing and he's doing it in front of me, can I see that he's doing it shit and can I assist him to try and fix it?
I'll say yes
So
this
as
time,
such,
but
can I take it as a help action, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll say yes, but the help action is to be called before rolls. So I'll say yes because
Fair.
you're watching him be doing shit or whatever. But as per the rules, I
Because
would
I'm
say
thinking like a
if you
wonky
should-
nose that's just off to one side, and I'm more like, no, this goes over here.
I'll
this
add
kind of a...
to it, so I'll make it possible for you to do this late term because Lissa's like, oh wait, and she just punches him in the face to give him the bruise, and the makeup just comes straight off. So Slate, you realize he needs to do it again. Dash, take 1.
Ow. That hurt.
I was going for realism, Dash.
Hey, how long have you been waiting to do that, honestly?
I've had 12 minutes.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Wait,
I wasn't expecting
do we
you
all
to.
get to do that?
Yes, absolutely. Gusto, please.
punches you in the stomach.
Just straight up in the nuts.
Yeah, just straight up. It doesn't even mark anywhere that anyone can see.
Ouch. Do you want me
breaks
to roll again on
invisibility.
the... Oh, for fuck's sake. Do you want me to roll again on the disguise kit, or is Slate rolling out?
I'll say you do it again because he's giving you the help action, so you have to roll it.
Oh, for
A dirty 4? That wasn't even worth it, man.
I just got hit in the balls while I was trying to do it.
You were trying to put your makeup back on, but you're like... Slate's desperately trying to get like makeup onto you, but you can't breathe.
The smell is just so bad. I'm like, you know what?
Just get out of here. So definitely Dash, and probably a fake letter with Slate, who looks fantastic, by the way, make their way towards the security officer. Sorry, you have a letter for who?
So I'm going to explain. I have a letter for Remington. We're from the CRU, and I'm going to flash it, but I'm not going to let him read it because it's not for him.
Just your
so I'm going
wallet
to flash
upside
it.
down and closed again.
Yeah, I'm gonna flash it, and it's gonna be all about, you know, confidence and act like you're supposed to be there. So I'm kind of like almost walking past them because CRU don't respect everybody else. They don't like this college, and they don't like magic.
What division are you in? I came here from the CRU.
I'm the division of bring me to Remington now.
Checks out. Sure, absolutely. I spend my time at CRU. Who do you know there? Who sent you here?
If you have to ask, you don't know who you're talking about. Just keep walking.
Oh man, make a deception, but I'm gonna give you advantage because that was fucking good, man.
You can tell he's a man that's worked security, can't you?
I think Slate. Yeah, I'm worried about Richard more than Slate. I think Richard's doing some shady shit in the real life.
Dirty 20.
Oh, he's like, oh, you know what? You're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked. I remember the rules. Come with. And he takes you down the garden.
If it's helpful as part of my abilities for the changeling, I have advantage on checks for pretending to be somebody else.
You're good, man. Yeah, no, that's good to know, but you're good. Pretending to be someone else is not your problem. It's definitely Dash's, who looks exactly like Dash. But it's all right.
Just beaten up and rough.
With a black eye and like having like kind of a limp, but you smell like crap.
I'd say that the punch to the nether regions is making you walk bent over.
Yeah.
That's probably to our advantage because people can get less of a look at your face.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh. But as we're walking,
as you're walking out the corner, he's like, "You all right, man?"
Yeah, fine. Sorry, you're taking us directly to Remington?
Yeah, I'll take you to Remington's office. Sure, absolutely. How'd you guys get here? I didn't see any boats coming in or anything.
I'm going to turn back to Dash and say, this is your first time on a mission. I told you not to talk. You're here to observe. You're only learning. And then I'm just going to tell him, shut up and just keep walking.
Sorry, I thought we were just going straight to the vault and getting the fuck out of here.
He goes to Remington's office. He's like, wait here 1 sec. Knocks on the door, goes in. You hear muffled talking, and then he walks back out. He looks at you guys. And he's like, all right, it's all yours. And he leaves.
So I'm just going to walk straight in and say the exact same thing. I'm going to be like...
I'm definitely staying outside the door.
And be like, Remington, I'm here from the CRU. I'm going to flash the forgery thing, same thing. And I'll be like, we've heard there's a breach in the vault and that some of the items might be loose. And we've been sent to confirm this report and to make sure it's re-secured.
I'm going to give you a deception check. I'm going to give you advantage because first of all, you're very convincing. And second of all, he's definitely like inspecting every facet of what you're doing.
Yeah, okay.
While that's going on inside, I will say to Gusto, it's like, okay, I'm going to hide because Remington will definitely recognize me. Follow him. Don't make any noise. See where he goes.
Did you say just a normal deception check?
With advantage though, yeah.
Okay, advantage. Just making sure before I did it.
Oh, that advantage was
23.
Oh my god, that advantage was good. 23. Let's see. And why did your superiors not send me a letter or make a call?
Because they're busy dealing with other things that you'll hear about shortly. Something above their pay grade, definitely above mine. All I know is I'm here to check this, check that it's secured, make sure that you've done your job, and we don't close this place down.
All right. Strange that none of the alarms or anything went off.
Well, that's good, hopefully. Unless your security is terrible and it's been completely breached, in which case, make a note of that. I shout out to the corridor.
How many of you are here?
It's one of these, like, you know, the high-vis and clipboard things. You can go anywhere with a high-vis and a clipboard.
I know, yeah.
And a ladder if you've got one.
Yeah, just at this point, I'm looking for another room because Dash is like, it's Remington. That was kind of my fear, was that we go directly to Remington, not to the thing, because like I don't believe that I can deceive Remington looking like this, so I am hiding in another room.
I'm going to let him know that there's several of us on the island, but I know better than to say in the building, because I know he can check who's in the building. So I'm going to imply that there are people on the surrounds doing visual checks, that we think we're sufficient to do this check, provided he does his checks in front of us and shows us what we're looking for. We can be in and out and on to the next thing on our list. Basically, there's another thing somewhere else we have to get to. So just the two of us is needed for this. Because so far the vault has been good, but we have to confirm the allegation, if you will, the alleged breach.
Well, the last people we let in would have been... Bear with me for a moment. He leans down and he gets a book. He kind of flicks through it, checking kind of like a register of people who come and go from the island and do different things. Yes, it would have been Master Decker. Interesting. Do we have any tally of how many supposed artifacts have leaked?
And I start to thumb through the forged document looking for information that's not there. And I just say, look, all I have is what I have here. They only tell me what they tell me. I know I have to be here. I know you have to show us, and we have to bring back the report. I mean, if you tell me it's all there and you tell me what's supposed to be there and I go back and they tally it, they'll tell you if something's missing. I guess we'll be back. A lot more of us will be back if we're taking this place over, if you've let that happen.
Interesting choice of words. Yes. Well... He sits back sternly and he looks at you. Yeah, I see that. He puts his hand out for the paperwork.
And then I'm just going to hand it to him, but as I do, I'm going to accidentally rip it, but give it to him, but be like, and just tear it.
Make a sleight of hand check. I'm not going to give you disadvantage or advantage, but just to make it smooth and not clunky.
Here you go.
8. I mean, if anything, you haven't been the nicest anyway, so he kind of probably just thinks you're being an asshole, like, rather than anything else. But yeah, you kind of, as he has it in his hand, you go, huh, and you just like rip it a little bit, and he's like, okay. And he leans back and he takes the document and he thumbs through it silently for a few moments, and as he does...
Before he says anything, I'm going to say, that's your copy.
Slate's always just an asshole, man.
I love it.
I see. Why has your boss not stamped this one? There's a coldness to Remington that you're not used to at all. He does not like crew even a little bit, and he's not
I love
pretending.
it so much.
I'm going to turn my head, and then I'm going to be like, oh, idiot. So I want to play it off that basically the new guy fucked up the paperwork. He had one job. And I turn around to the corridor. I'm like, one job. We came all this way, and you didn't even check that it was stamped. So I'm going to turn back to Remington and say, okay, we can play this one of two ways. You can either show us now, or I can go back, and they can be way more pissed off, and we can come back a second time. Your choice, but either way, same thing is going to happen.
Well, as tempting as it is to watch you walk away and waste your time, I can check the vault for you. As your superiors undoubtedly informed you, you're not, and nor is anyone else, welcome within the confines of the vault without express authorization from only one man.
Of course.
You may wait here. This will take a while. Please don't make yourself comfortable. He gets up and he walks out of the room.
Such a badass I love him.
And he walks down the corridor. What do you guys want to do?
I'll try to follow.
Follow.
I will sit down at his desk and put my feet up.
Mud tracking off your shoes.
I am sitting on the outside of his desk, but my feet are on his desk.
No worries. You make your way down the corridor. I'll get a stealth roll with advantage from Gusto, and I'll get a stealth roll from Dash in general. I almost am tempted to give you disadvantage because you look so much like Dash, but he's pretty busy, so instead of the advantage you would have gotten, you just have disadvantage. Oh, you just have regular advantage, sorry. Not regular roll, fucking hell.
Regular roll.
Oh
I know
my
where you're
God.
going, yeah. Dirty 20.
Thank you. 30-20, and Gusto, I need a stealth check. You advantage on yours, buddy.
21.
Nice, 21. I mean, yeah, he's pretty distracted, so he heads down a set of stairs which lead to like kind of past the library and past the general information, like the general areas, the pool, like the training rooms. He just keeps going and going and going until eventually he reaches a corridor that none of you have ever seen before, and he begins to walk down a spiral staircase. You two start to follow him down this spiral staircase, and it goes further and further and further down. You walking for 5, 6, 7 minutes until finally you reach what appears to be a massive doorway. You look around to see if Remington is there, and you can see that through the doorway and through the crack there's some sort of light, presumably a torch of some kind, and you can hear his footsteps further down. What do you guys want to do?
I'm going to peek around.
Okay. Gusto, what do you do?
I mean, I don't think that he's going to be slowing down on behalf of there being weird, tricky magic here. He's invisible, and God's on his side, so he's going to... The power of God in anime is going to start making his way... Start making his way down. Stealthily, of course. But traps, it's fine.
You walk past Dash. I doubt carefully. So Dash, you just suddenly feel a nudge go past you as you're leaning in through the doorway. You look further down and you see Remington walking down a massive, like when I say massive corridor, I mean massive, like as in, think about the probably like in the Mines of Moria kind of thing when they were like these big hallways. They're like massive ones and stuff like that. I would say probably there.
I will, seeing that he's gone some distance, I will also start to follow, and at this point I would be keeping an eye out for traps as we're going.
Yeah.
Both arcane and mechanical.
Yeah. Given the time, I'm going to move forward a wee bit. So you're following him for what, again, seems like a long time. Like, Slate, you've been in the office for almost 30 minutes now, for context.
In the meantime, when we get back to me, I want to have forged his receipt or his follow-up paperwork of past inspection or whatever it is, the equivalent. Have it rewritten up so I could be like, yeah, that's very much, there's your copy of that, and thanks. And so I'm writing that as I'm waiting.
Okay. Eventually, what might surprise both of you as you reach this kind of end of this section, there's a massive wall, like probably the biggest wall you've ever seen. Like, it would make Trump blush. It's a massive wall, and as you look at it, it has a tiny door. Like, it's very small. It's barely the size of Remington. It's bizarrely small. I'll probably need another stealth check from you guys, but I would probably give you both advantage at this point because he's not expecting anyone to follow him. He's not looking for anyone, so
At 20.
Yeah.
Ooh. Um, 14.
14. Got it. Um, there's a moment where he stops what he's doing and he turns and then he just keeps going. He places his hand on the door handle and he turns it, and the door handle begins to glow, and the door begins to glow, and seeping from the edge of the door, a golden trail begins to come outward and begin to drip down the walls and up the walls and side to side across the walls, diagonally, horizontally. And it paints a larger and larger picture until the entire massive wall is almost filled with arcane sigils, thousands of them. He twists the door handle, and as he pushes, the whole wall begins to separate and move open.
Is he twisting clockwise, anti-clockwise?
He twisted like normal, like you would open a normal door and push it, like it's just a normal thing. But how it responds is not normal because the door itself folds inward and separates with the wall. The wall moving like one of those, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like it's a thing you pull shut and pull open, like it like bends like an accordion, if that makes sense. I just don't remember what that's called.
Accordion door.
You mean Venetian shutters?
Venetian, thank you. Yes, like the Venetian. Yeah, the like the Venetian covering stuff, and it like folds in on itself, but almost like it looks like not normal. It looks like something a cartoon character would do as they rip like a wall open. It makes no sense. They're ripping a hole in the wall kind of thing. Within the confines of this place are shelves upon shelves upon shelves of things. There's space for more, but the like vault itself uncovers and it displays what could easily be like 100 to 150 different things, all of them beyond bizarre, all of them in their own little, like what looks almost like a holding area, like you would put like the things they tried to hold the gremlins in and stuff like that in the Gremlins movie and stuff. Like my references just jump back to like 80s and 90s movies, but like that they try and withhold them in, like it looks like it's built for something to be trapped within and stuck within, right? As you stare down this place, the light changes and each thing has its own different color coordination, variety of different colors. What that means to you is unknown, but there are like helms, there are swords, there are axes, there are daggers, there are different types of blades, there are different types of armor, there are different types of shoes, cloaks, tarps, blankets, there are what looks like strange cubes, there are different shapes and different substances, things that look like they're made of like floating water, things that look like they are like from the most mundane to the most arcane things you could possibly imagine.
Can I get close to the door?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Is there stuff like just inside the door as well?
What do you mean by stuff inside the door?
Like the weapons, like axes, armors.
Yeah, it goes back
armor.
along the wall. So imagine that the walls unfolded until they reached a certain point where it's just a linear kind of almost a hallway filled with like a bank room filled with like different vaults and stuff like that. Yeah.
So how deep into it has Remington gone?
He's about halfway through and he's inspecting different like areas.
I'm gonna try to steal something from just inside the door.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I feel like I should have saved that inspiration. 11.
Dash, you reach into the vault. There's a few things. So one of them is a helm. A few of them are blades of different variety. Some of them would be like shoes and stuff. They would all be within your reach. What does Dash's mind go for?
If there's a dagger there.
Sure, a dagger, absolutely. You see a dagger and it captivates you. You reach out to take it quietly, keeping an eye on Remington. I mean, for Dash, it's pretty hard for him to understand what just happened. For Gusto, you watch as Dash gets frozen in place and his body begins to fill with that same golden material. It starts to seep down the veins and arteries of his body. He's not hidden. He's just standing there. As you move around to sort of inspect him just for a moment, his eyes are filled with that same golden material too.
I probably could fetch a pretty good price for this.
His body is, for all intents and purposes, petrified.
Right. Well, there's nothing that Gusto can do about that. But there's plenty of things that Gusto can do for Gusto. But this is all weapons and shoes and blankets and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
the fuck is down in here? Like, none of this is really that interesting. So there were substances, though, right? Dice, cards, cigarettes, cigarette holders, punk rock patches.
I think you're mixing
Cigar
this
cutters.
vault up with Hot Topic.
Yeah, well, I mean, is this a hot topic? Is there a hot topic wing?
No, this seems more like knives, like stuff like that. You might see a pair of Converse in the shoe section. I don't know.
Oh man, I mean, this is a bit of a letdown. None of this makes any sense to him. I mean, this is like going to a normal shopping mall, like ye old armor smith or whatever.
Yeah,
Just-
basically. You've just ended up
Yeah.
in a blacksmith or something, right?
It's like American Eagle here, with all the. This is the gap of underneath this resort. What can you even do with this guy? I don't think there's much I can do. I don't think there is anything I can do for poor Dash, my best friend forever.
Forever didn't take long.
No, it
I
didn't
was
take very
about
long.
to say forever was short.
Yeah, it was pretty short. Yeah, I don't have anything for it. I'm pretty sure that like touching Dash while he's being filled with golden light probably will also get me infected with the golden light. That's usually how it works with certain things that pass from people to people in the gutter. Yeah, anything I can do here will just get Remington's attention, and I don't think that is ideal. So I'm gonna go deeper. I'm gonna go deeper into the vault.
Oh my god. Gusto's gonna get
Yeah.
locked in the vault.
And
You move deeper within the vault. The further in you go, the less mundane things look and the way more arcane they look. Like, there are things that are made of ethereal light. There are things that are made of liquid and things that are made of what just looks like arcane energy. And there's some types of armor that are here that shine brighter than any you've ever seen. There are things here that just look incredible. There are wands and scepters, and there are like staffs, and there are like even the belts and those kind of things look fantastic. They have things like shaped and blazoned and etched into them. They look powerful.
Now this is more like it. All right. There's probably something in here that can help Dash.
I will get a stealth check from you at this point, though, because you're moving towards Remington. So
Yeah, I'll do that.
you have advantage from invisibility, though.
Yeah. Don't you worry, Dash. I got you.
Actually, you don't hear that at all.
Yeah, because I was
Just
thinking.
stuck like.
Basically, yeah.
Natural 20.
You are very hidden.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Right. So if I know anything about magic, and I know everything about magic, is, the amorphous magic, which I am very familiar with, it's probably what I need to whatever is going on with Dash. So I'm going to go for the amorphous light pool of energy, power, whatever. I'm gonna see if I can't just like pull it into myself. That seems like the smartest thing I could do right now. Minerva be praised.
Minerva be praised. How are you doing it?
I'm gonna stick my hand out. I'm gonna try and draw it to me by sheer force.
Oh, I
of
thought you
will.
meant literally like you're gonna touch it, and I was like, it went so well for Dash. Okay.
No. I put my hand out and summon it to me with sheer will.
Okay. You reach your hand out, and you're lucky you got that nat 20, because otherwise I would have really screwed you here. You reach your hand out, and you go to pull this energy to you.
Mm.
Remington walks right past you as he walks back towards where Dash would be. For a moment, it looks like it might be coming to you, Gusto. It might be calling to you. It might be reaching to you while you reach towards it. What do you want to do?
If it's reaching towards me and I'm reaching towards it, and just mind, I'm like, twins, Tempestus, I'm here doing the thing. Corpus, like whoever sent me here to do the thing, I'm here and I'm going to do the thing. I'm here. Let's go.
The ethereal object changes form and it reaches out towards you. The ball starts to fly towards you, and as it does, it hits the shield that is there. It's stuck there, but it wants to come to you, Gusto.
Come to Papa. How do I get into that thing? Come to Papa. But it's like just an arcane force.
Seems like something arcane is blocking it, yes.
How do I break that? And Dash stuck his hand in the thing and it turned him into light, right? Okay. I'm gonna stick my hand in. Surely we're gonna meet halfway. And I'm going to be pulling every ounce of strength I can. I'm gonna use Tides of Chaos to aid me in this.
Oh man,
surely.
you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Tempestus be praised.
All right, go for it.
All right. Slide ahead, you said, right?
Yeah.
Right. I'll do this at advantage. 23.
23. All right, give me... Give me a D20. I want to see something.
20. Seven.
You reach through the magical ethereal frame and you connect with this ethereal essence that has formed into this ball shape that is wrapping itself around your hand as you slide your hand through it. It doesn't feel wet, it feels warm. It feels powerful. Slate. After about an hour, Remington approaches again. Seems that everything is in order.
Can I attempt to read him? Earlier, obviously, he was cold with me. He was pissed off at my obnoxiousness. And obviously, I'm aware that he's gone down the corridor I didn't follow. And I'm presumably aware that for the last hour I've been alone, which would lead me to believe that Dash and Gusto aren't here, seeing as I didn't speak to them. And Dash is not great at not speaking, so I know he's gone. So I'm going to read between the lines and try and judge effectively. I'm trying to get a gauge of what he means by, everything is in order. Is there any kind of like a vibe check is what I'm going
Make
for.
an insight check, yeah.
Yeah.
Roll for vibes.
Roll for vibes.
22.
Remington is a different kind of furious than he was when you were in this room earlier. He is pissed.
So I'm going to give him the document that closes out and formalizes the process to say that it was done. I'm going to say to him it was inspected or whatever. And what I did was I just write that, give it to him, hand it to him. It's all pre-written while he was gone.
He takes it from you, crumples it in one hand, and just drops it straight on the floor and puts his hand down to his side again without looking at the document.
I'm just going to look down at the page in front of me and just say, so the next place is Volcanus. So then I'm going to say, we'll, like a courier or something, we'll be in touch, and that's great. And thanks very much for that. And I'm going to walk out the door.
You're confronted by two golden figures. One of Dash, one of a very visible Gusto.
I would absolutely attempt the performance of a lifetime to remain stony-faced and as if, I don't know who these people are, and carry on cool as a cucumber down the corridor. That's what I would like to do towards the exit the way I came in.
Internally screaming and panicking.
You head out, you leave out the door, you walk away, never hearing another sound. But the rest of you are slowly brought to the attention of the fact that you have two compatriots solidified in the middle of your dorm room, like common area, of Dash and Gusto. But I'll let you guys figure that out next week when we pick up with Rory.
My downtime, I'd like to do...
I know. Next week I'll find out from you, pal. I'm sorry. We'll pick up with you next week, and like we did last time, unfortunately, with the downtime, but it'll be yourself, Hatsu, a little bit of Slate, because we got some of his information, and we will have Gusto, hopefully, to find out what their downtime is, either in solid form.
I'm curious what will happen if you crush the solid form, though. This is
Also,
just,
if Dash is standing there in a position where he's got his hand out, he's absolutely getting coats hanged on him.
Perfect. We'll pick it up from there. Thank you so much. We will be doing a post show. It will be a 5-minute break because we're running super late. We'll come back from there. EOS will pick up with you next week, straight after the recap, and we will go into where you were, and then I will proceed from there. Good stuff. BRB, folks.